What up, everybody? IQ is live once again for Casual Friday chatting stream to chat with our community about streaming things in general. Hope you guys are having a good holiday season. Thanksgiving and the wintry holidays are coming up. Okay. So, hopefully some people who have some questions will pop in. I'll give everybody a chance to show up, hang out. Steel Zipper, thank you for hanging out in the chat. As always, if you're in IQ, which most of you are, you can join the voice chat. We are skipping the channel reviews and we're just going to be doing general kind of casual discussions on things. This is going to be treated like a very casual podcast moving forward. The workshops that I want to do are going to be incorporated into the Monday YouTube videos that I will be making. So look forward to that. I won't be doing them here on Friday because I really don't want to destroy the format of what this is supposed to be, which is supposed to be just a very casual conversation between streamers. And to have a space to answer your guys' questions about all the things and all the stuff. That's why my mic is leaning hard. That's better. So yeah, I'm here to answer your questions about streaming technology, to have discussions with you on things that I don't have answers for. If you guys want to know about equipment, soundboard setup, capture cards, cameras, editing, all that kind of stuff. So originally we were doing channel reviews, which I'm going to kind of do a little bit here and there with people, still to a lesser degree. I don't want to take the Friday streams for that. I'm going to be cutting these Friday streams down to probably, I don't know, an hour and a half instead of like 3 hours like we've been doing, and make the goal just to have a space to talk about streaming. So if you guys have any questions, whether it's in the chat or if you want to jump into voice and hang out, so we can have a conversation, a discussion, that's what this time is for. It's for us to come together and chat about streaming, discuss these greater concepts and ideas together. So yeah, let's talk about all the streaming stuff. We could talk about YouTube. We could talk about all the dramas, whatever. This space is for us to have a discussion. I'm going to be doing the workshop idea on the YouTube channel. I'm going to be incorporating it into the weekly videos. It's just a better spot for that kind of content. And it'll allow more people to kind of get that kind of help. Like if we're going to do a full discussion on panels or things like that, it's not, it's kind of disjointed to have this content where we have me giving instructional, detailed, in-depth advice, and then just where's the space to talk about anything else, the questions of the week, the things that are going on, to have these like more loose, open-ended discussions. We need that time, and I don't want to mix things too much. I feel like this time needs to be as open as possible for us to catch up, talk about things that you guys have on your plate, on your mind, help you troubleshoot things, that kind of thing. This needs to be more casual. That was the entire point of it. So Casual Fridays is staying Casual Fridays. That's the point. So YouTube big plays. You mean I have to assume what you mean by this. Do you want to elaborate a little bit, Twinkie? Thanks for joining the stream. I hope you're doing well. What you mean by YouTube big plays? Are you talking about the people moving from Twitch to YouTube? Are we talking about how to make YouTube functional? Strategic acquisitions. Well, you're welcome to join the IQ Voice live chat if you want to have this discussion with me. I don't mind you staying in chat if you can't join voice as well. It's all available. If you're in IQ and you're in the IQ community Discord, you can join me to talk directly, or we can just talk through the chat. So, Well, they do. Okay, yes, they do, and they don't. They want everyone to move. YouTube wants everyone to move. They're strategically offering contracts to big key players, but this isn't new, and it doesn't really work. If it worked, it would have worked for Mixer. The whole idea of moving Twitch streamers from Twitch to another platform in order to make that other. Now, the thing here that's different between Mixer and YouTube is that Mixer was not successful at all. At any point where they considered successful. YouTube is. YouTube is a success already. So they have that going for them. So the context is a bit different. YouTube doesn't actually need to acquire people to make streaming successful on YouTube. I don't think that's actually, and I'm not actually sure that that's what their real strategy is. I think I think it's to bolster the it's like an advertisement. It's like a way of getting the word out that YouTube is a platform for streaming, as well as VOD content. But VOD content, as they say themselves, is always going to be king. It's always going to be key. VOD content, and this is where YouTube and Twitch are going to always. I don't think YouTube and Twitch are actually in a competition with each other as much as people think. Twitch isn't trying to compete with YouTube. Obviously, VODs just disappear unless you highlight them. People don't typically watch VODs. And YouTube is not trying to become a live stream competitor to Twitch in that becomes their main focused content. Yeah, I would say Netflix and YouTube are way closer in competition than Twitch and YouTube. They serve different roles. I actually don't think it's a good idea to think about Twitch and YouTube as competitors. I feel like that just does a disservice to you, the creator, more than it does anything to actually help you think about your approach to your exposure. YouTube and Twitch don't matter. What matters is you, the creator. And you should always focus on, number one, you. Who cares what other people are doing? That doesn't help you make good decisions for you. It actually can help you make worse decisions, because if you're looking at the top tier players, it's not as transparent as like a sports star. Like it's
Hello.
hello, Twinkie. Welcome to Voice.
What's up? I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm
Don't be
nervous.
nervous. This is a very
I feel
casual
weird.
thing, and nobody's gonna watch, so don't worry about it. It's just a place for us to get our thoughts out there and talk
hmm
about things. So, I will. I'm gonna finish my analogy though.
Yeah, go ahead.
When
I
you
didn't want to like interrupt.
no, you're good. It's just very casual. This is actually a spot for us to kind of like brainstorm, troubleshoot. It's not supposed to be crazy formalized like the Wednesday
hmm
podcast. The Wednesday podcast is a place for us to take things that we talk about here and maybe dive deep there, and that's more formalized. This is like a really informal podcast. It's not supposed to be important. It's just supposed to be helpful. That's it. So, yeah, so with sports, right? It's more obvious when somebody is like incredible, or a musician or an actor. It's on display, and the thing that they put on display causes you to want to emulate what they're doing, so that you can kind of replicate a similar success. Streaming is not a good space for this, because success as a streamer is random. It is not down to a skill. There isn't like a thing that all people do, right? All streamers do. Other than being live. Like that's the stuff. There is stuff you can emulate, but even if you do, you may not be successful. And so looking at like the biggest people moving to YouTube and looking at what's happening at the top end of this industry is a distraction, in my opinion, to success. It's better to try and figure out a strategy for success for yourself. Where can you start? Because we all have to kind of start at the bottom. And we want to move. You want to work your way up, and looking at the top does not tell you how to work your way to the top. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like macro versus micro stuff.
Right. If you want to be successful on YouTube, you need a content strategy that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense and has legs. You have a path forward, and making random videos and hoping that they pop off is not a strategy. It's gambling. And I think it's better to it's this freaking monitor. Hold on. It's better to attack. I don't know why this game's upside down. It's better to have a strategy, an actual strategy. For instance, I should flip this ROM while I'm thinking about it.
I keep looking
It's
at the screen
upside
to
down.
see if
It's so
if
distracting.
it's correct or not.
Oh wow! Why is it? Is that? It's like dead pixel rows, which is weird. I'm always worried about this monitor and this clamp. Yeah, so
I think the upside down is a vibe, to be honest.
you like it? You like the upside down?
Yeah, it's
Alright.
like
Maybe we'll
it's
leave.
unique.
Maybe we'll leave it. So it's just gonna be that core. I don't know why that arcade core is upside down. And now we've got the nope. You know what? This
Now it's just on stream. Okay, it popped up for a second.
Can I get in? Oh boy.
There you go.
Old TV, no. Aspect ratio, no. Dip switches. Flip screen. Save. Reset. Now it's not upside down. Oh, I'm gonna reboot. I don't know. Actually, it's probably the Matrix. I have a lot of tech. In between the in between the Mister and this screen, I have 2 matrices, a splitter, and a switcher box. Well, there's no dead pixel rows, so it's something with the core. Yeah, so content strategy for YouTube is not making random videos, right? It's looking at. Are you doing YouTube at all? Are you focusing on YouTube at all? Are you thinking about it?
Last night actually I came up with like a whole because so what I'm about to do is I'm about to give myself like 4 months of complete sort of freedom to create and learn and explore.
Okay.
And I kind of came up with a strategy in terms of content what I want to do. So I wrote down Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok, and those are like the top level. It's like an arrow leading into Twitch, which then has an arrow leading into YouTube, which then has an arrow sort of leading into Patreon. Does that make sense?
Yes. Let me see. So you start your top tier content.
It's like the top of the funnel is Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok.
I think you have your funnel upside down.
An upside down triangle though. It's like leading like new people going through this to lead.
But that's what I'm saying. I think your whole thing is upside down. I think you've got it backwards.
So you gotta wait, but how do you lead out of Patreon?
Oh well, Patreon. Well, okay, it's out of order and upside down.
Okay.
I think the most discoverable, easiest to find a pathway for discoverability and cut through all the noise is YouTube.
I agree.
I don't.
But that's why. So the tier that YouTube's at, it's more like more refined, sort of, more high production, refined content rather than like something like the amount of effort I would put into, let's say, a TikTok or a Twitter post.
Okay, so when we're looking, let's go visual here. I'm gonna go visual.
Let me like take it because it's in a notebook, so I'll take a picture with my phone
No,
and put it into
I'm
the.
gonna draw it here so everybody can see.
Okay.
So everybody can see. Okay. Let's just do a 1080 canvas, the canvasy
Photo
thing.
P, free Photoshop, basically.
Yep. Okay, so we've got. Um, this is gonna be so much
Let me go
easier
full screen on your stream.
if
Oh,
I.
theater mode. I never use theater mode.
Okay, so we've got. So let's look at what you. I'm gonna make a different layer for this. So, and I'm gonna move my screen closer. I'm gonna actually draw right on the screen. It's easier than using the mouse. So.
Ooh, do you have like a?
Yeah, I have a drawing screen.
Okay.
Okay, so let me make sure it's gonna work. It's on the wrong monitor. I sometimes usually when I install new graphics drivers,
Mhm.
the drawing tablet gets confused about which screen is which. And now I don't have. Okay, hold on. Yes.
I like the watch.
Why didn't it open? I thought it opened on my OLED, but it didn't. So I did. Oh, unplug.
How many screens are connected to this PC right now?
What's that?
And also, do you have like a dual PC setup for
I
stream?
do, but I'm not using it right now.
Okay.
I only use it if I were to play games, and I use it for when I'm doing like art streams because After Effects and
Oh yeah,
it
After
needs
Effects
as
is
much
a
horsepower on the computer as
it's
possible.
a RAM eater. It's
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. Okay, so Galman, where are you? Why did you not open? I double click you.
Hey,
Where?
watching this stream in full screen, I'm like appreciative of the chat being on screen. I normally am like, chat on screens, but now I see the purpose.
Well, for this stream, it makes more sense, I think. I think I have to restart the Galman software. There it is. Yeah, it just wouldn't open. Workspace, this screen, thank you very much. Okay, now I can draw right on the screen. So you have, so you've got, tell me
So at the
tell me your
top,
funnel again. Yeah.
there's Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok.
Let me make the stroke smaller because Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
Reddit, and then
TikTok.
TikTok. I think that's how it's
Mm-hmm.
spelled, right?
Mm-hmm. TLC. And then that leads
Oh, it's a
into
C at the end?
Twitch. No, it's K. Sorry, I
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know why I said C.
All right, go ahead.
And then that leads into Twitch,
So
and
we've
also
got
like Twitch and YouTube are basically on the same level, but because
Twitch.
like Twitch and Twitch sort of leads into YouTube as like they both lead into like Twitch and YouTube, but then there's also an arrow from Twitch to YouTube as well, because
Right.
they
Okay.
are on the same level, but at the same time, like
And then
it
that
was
leads to
basically like
Patreon, right?
my step, yeah, and then this level leads to Patreon, yeah,
Okay, let me also adjust.
and that's a spicy P
Is it?
for Patreon. Yeah, it looks like the Harry Potter font.
Okay. So, let's make a new layer. So you've got, so, okay, so this strategy is to, what's this layer for? What's this top layer for?
This top layer is for finding new people,
So
getting
this
new
is
people.
discoverability.
Yeah, this is discoverability.
Discovery. So then this layer is content strategy? Wow.
This layer is like, yeah, like high production content, like the main stuff.
Pen pressure sensitivity. It must just be Photopea because it's working fine here, but when I like barely touch,
Photopea sometimes has like lag that makes
well,
things
it's
weird.
like I'm not actually drawing and then it, okay, well, maybe I just needed to open the software again. Okay, so this is content.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is like main content.
Yeah, it's like the juice essentially.
And then this is what?
This is
Community?
like, yeah, I guess sort of
The
perks.
this is
Like,
obviously income, but you're gonna have income.
I mean, yeah,
You
it's
could have
like obviously
income,
it's monetization, but
but you can get monetization at every single level here,
yeah,
and this
yes.
this monetization is,
Except for Twitch because I canceled my affiliate.
oh, why?
I don't want to support this company anymore. Not gonna lie.
You're breaking my heart. What's wrong? What's wrong with supporting Twitch?
I love the culture of Twitch. I love the streamers on Twitch. I love meeting friends on Twitch. I just don't like the company, honestly. I don't like the corporate aspect of it, and I'm like,
Well, I mean, if you look at any corporation, you're gonna feel that way.
yeah,
You might as well
that's
quit
true
all
too.
of this because Reddit is terrible. TikTok is even worse.
Yeah,
TikTok's basically, I don't even know why
TikTok's
it's
just
allowed.
propaganda.
In fact, if you're gonna quit something, this would be the worst offender on the list when it comes to corporation.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
This, the
I
fact that
felt
this is
that
even
way
allowed in the
for.
U.S. is shocking.
I feel like I was too close to Twitch, so that I saw it like I saw like the worst of Twitch. I think yeah. Eventually, I
Yeah,
might get to a
you
point
had
where I.
a microscope this way on Twitch.
Mhm.
You were looking at Twitch.
Well, technically, it's not gone
I
yet.
mean, this is also bad too.
Oh, I wait. There's a delay.
This
Okay.
whole top row, if you're worried about
The
corporations,
top row is pretty toxic.
that's the most.
I agree with that. The top row is very toxic, but that's very.
I mean, YouTube's no saint either. Better, they're better. At least they're better. I would say at minimum, at least these are U.S. companies, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is basically China. This is basically China. So, and then this is U.S. too. But so this
Twitch is also
Patreon, by the way.
Amazon.
So I would say don't cancel your Twitch affiliate. I think that's a bad
Okay.
idea at your level.
Okay, so
You can do
here's
whatever you
also the
want.
thing.
It's your yeah.
Let's get to that after this. Let's get to that topic.
Okay, let's start with the creator side of things, where you're trying to make sure you want success, right? This is this is your idea of like a pathway to success, right? So, okay, so what I'm gonna do? What's on this layer? Okay, I should just merge these two. Actually, I don't know why I ended up with two layers too early.
You can be like a math teacher and just like, oh, I'm gonna change color.
True. Let's change to baby yellow because reasons. No, that's gonna be too bright for stream. Sadly, I'll go with
Yeah,
it.
you
I'll
want
go
to
with
need darker colors, maybe like a purple.
a teal green. That should be fine. Okay, so we've got. Okay, so first we want to talk about. Well, okay, hold on. I'm done. It was actually smart to have these separated out, right? So you got the three layers. I like your three layers, right? Discovery, content, and community. These are actually, you're on the right track with at least with this, okay? You do need
Okay.
discovery, okay?
Definitely.
That's super important. Okay, so my microphone's kind of in the way here. For discoverability, I would and discoverability and main content can actually just be YouTube.
Yeah, that's fair.
You could. This is what I'm saying.
I
You could
think
simplify
it's
your.
more so what mine is split into. I think it's split more into like the effort I put into some things.
Right. I just want to conceptually. I want to break this down a little differently so everybody kind of understands.
Yeah, that's fair.
So so you've got YouTube, and then also
YouTube should have been in red. It's okay.
you can actually have YouTube and Twitch cover these two things completely,
Mhm.
and community can actually be incorporated in this as well. So
Technically, yeah, community tier should probably also have Discord on there. But
true.
yeah,
No, but we had Patreon. Patreon was like the only thing
I
you
think
had for
because it's
community
like
before.
the monetization thing was there for that
Right.
too. Like Patreon is more monetized.
So Discord for community. Hi again.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you've got YouTube, you've got Twitch, and you've got Discord. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, Twitter, Reddit, any other platform, none of these matter. These don't matter.
Yeah, they don't. I
They're,
agree.
you don't even need to do anything on them. You literally don't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can, like, content strategy wise, you don't need them at all.
Mm-hmm.
You're 100% better off focusing on a strategy that combines YouTube, Twitch, and Discord, and then you get to add a third layer because these two become one, right? So this is money, the money, dropping all my money, and
That's a
this
really
is
good
Patreon,
handwriting for money.
right? Patreon, coffee, any
Yeah,
other
all
like
of this.
direct
Fan
monetary
House,
strategy.
Coffee, Patreon.
Okay, so the difference between this graph and your graph, if we go back, you've got, this is overwhelming to me as a content creator. This makes me feel apprehensive, and I'll tell you why, because that looking at this feels like work, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot of work. 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 This is a lot. It's just so much work. It just looks like too much to do, right?
But I'm ready to do it all. Like
But
that's the
but
thing. I'm trying
but
to give myself the space to do it all.
what I'm telling you is you're gonna. This
Also,
is not worth wasting the energy on this row.
can I BRB for like a sec? I think someone's at the door.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll wait. I'll talk to chat. Gin, Gin's also welcome to join in the chat, so we can have a deeper discussion on this. The voice, if you want to come into voice, we're just gonna wait for Twinkie to come back, and we'll try to finish this. That's it, Hylian. That's totally it. That's it's just too much work. You guys are all, if you're in IQ, you know the drill. Come and join voice if you want. We're gonna have two discussions. Welcome, Gin. Now we get to play in Gin's room.
Hey. Hello there.
Hello. Tell
My name is-
me to stop sweating.
Keep sweating because it's healthy.
No, I don't want to be a sweaty person anymore. At least, I don't know.
You don't want to be a sweaty person anymore?
Anytime I
That
have
alone
to do
sounds wrong.
anything,
What would it... Yeah.
dude, if I'm like watching TV, I don't sweat, and if I'm in a meeting with you, I start sweating a little bit, and then when I get on stream, I start just like drenched. I'm just starting to just sweat like crazy. My armpits.
I heard that sweating though is healthy because, it actually is a normal
If
thing.
you're exercising,
Sweating
yeah,
is
but
pretty
I'm just
healthy.
sitting here. It's crazy.
Oh, hey, welcome in,
Ever
Twinkie.
since I was like 13 years old, I've had this problem. And if I have to be like doing anything performance-wise, I just my parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system get all out of whack, and I just start getting I bet you I'm like tensing all these muscles I don't know about. It's making me sweat.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so welcome back, Twinkie. Let's go back to this layered discussion about things. Okay, so my concern with your strategy is that you're spreading yourself too thin with minimal gains, which is what Pickles is saying. You're really looking at not a lot of gains. Yeah, he's right. Do you see the chat? What Pickle said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been reading.
You're oversaturating yourself because each one of these things, Twitter, they all need a content strategy. All of them, and you have a 90% chance or higher, probably higher, to fail at your content strategy on Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok. TikTok is a mirage. TikTok makes you feel like you're being successful when you're not.
Yeah.
The reason TikTok is dangerous for content creation space is you can have a video feel like it pops off, and it does. It's not actually. It just got put into a bunch of people's feeds. That's not the same thing as creating a community and having success that actually funnels properly. It's also a bad idea to try to gain traction at like this level for discoverability, because they're not discoverable platforms. Twitter's not a discoverable platform. It's a good place for people to like slowly trickle in to see that you exist, but it's not a good platform for discovery. It's video.
Unless you're an artist, then maybe.
Even then, it's
You kidding? You seen how many likes and retweets an artist can get?
well-known artists already, but brand new artists.
That's kind of interesting because how would you compare Twitter to Instagram? Let's say I want to get your thoughts on that.
Instagram. If you want to do like a TikTok style strategy, I would replace this entire top row with Instagram.
Okay.
Not
Discoverability on Instagram is like the worst out of all of this, in my opinion.
No, it's only bad if you don't have a strategy. If you just hope it works and just put stuff up there. You have to have a strategy, which requires you to study. This is why I think YouTube is the best one to focus on, and I would get rid of this. I've made all these like. Let's get rid of that. I would go with YouTube and Twitch as your main stuff that you want to work on, because you can create a viable content strategy for both. IQ figured out how to create a viable content strategy for Twitch already. We talk about that in the articles and the posts in the 101 content on the member site, how to make Twitch work, that it is possible to make it work. But I still think YouTube is king in this space because it's much easier.
Yeah.
It's not only is it easier, but it's more. There's more options. Twitch is very limited in your choice and your selection of what you can make work to grow. Right?
Yeah.
You have minimum games to choose from. It has to do with how many current viewers you have, and growing Twitch is. Puts you in a very small box for decision making. Growing YouTube, it's still kind of a small box, but relatively speaking, it is much, much bigger. So for discoverability and main content, I would suggest everyone focus, if they want their Twitch channel to be free and work to give them the freedom to stream like a streamer. Just I turn my stream on, people show up, and we hang out. That's like the main focus of your stream. Then you should focus on YouTube. I've been saying this for a long time, and I know a lot of other content creators have said this too, but they don't talk about the strategies for making it work. Yeah, TikTok is designed to be ignored.
I totally agree with Thailand Pickles there. Yeah. Very ignorable platform. It makes you think that you're popular when you're not.
So, okay. So let's talk. Let me explain why YouTube. I don't see a content strategy for Twitch, Twitter, Reddit at all. In fact, Reddit I think is probably the worst. I would just ignore Reddit completely.
Depends on community. So Reddit is like as the whole website is not obviously a place you design content for. You design for communities essentially. So my thing is to research into. Obviously, like LSF exists, but LSF is like not the best place to be.
Yeah, no.
Well, here's the thing. Reddit is good for you, the content creator, for research purposes, but it is not good for content or reach. What is good is if you're doing well, what will happen is your content will reach Reddit. It's a marker of your success, but you can't strategize around that. You have to you actually need to do other things so that happens, right? Like YouTube, making the right YouTube video will end up on Reddit. People will be like, this video helped me a lot. Here's this video. Check out this guy. That's what you want. And you can't manufacture that. Reddit doesn't allow for self-promotion, really. And if all you do is self-promote, you're just going to get your account shadow banned.
I definitely don't want to use Reddit for that. Like, I mean, kind of, but not really. But like, like all of these platforms, I want to look to create on rather than just self-promote on. That was my whole idea with this. Like, I don't want to just be the guy who's just like, oh, go to my YouTube, go to my TikTok, whatever.
Right.
Like all the platforms, like I want to be, okay, this is TwinkieTalks on Twitter. This is TwinkieTalks on TikTok.
So YouTube, I think, is the way to go, is the way to focus, because
YouTube is definitely like the main crux of all of it, because the most high quality, highly edited, sort of high production, even if it's a cut down stream, like the best parts would be on YouTube. Like that is obviously the crux. Like
the funny thing is, it's designing a content strategy like Twitch for growth is much easier on YouTube, and that's why I think it should be the focus, because you can nail content discovery and community in one platform. And then you can expand on discovery, content, and community through Twitch, and then you funnel the top two content discovery platforms to your community platforms, which is Discord and Patreon. So the reason YouTube is so good is because you can take a strategic look at what's going on YouTube and figure out how to play the game. The game is more obvious. So
YouTube is probably the most sort of, what do you call it, easier to understand than all of these. Like
yeah, Twitch is very, very hard to understand. Very, very, very
like
hard.
Twitch, it's like community driven meta. It's like there's no actual algorithm, so it's just community driven.
Well, there's still, there may not be a computer algorithm that you can master, but there is an approach that you can master because people's behaviors are common on Twitch.
That's the thing.
So there's an algorithm of behavior.
People, though,
Well, anyway, Twitch is much harder because trends change too quickly anyway.
Yeah, that's true too.
YouTube, the changing
it's
trends...
similar to YouTube. I think it's a similar time frame, but it's a little longer.
Well, but YouTube can actually work in your favor because the trends change so often that it can switch. YouTube, it can swing back to something that you've already made.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like YouTube's, like, the platform's trends might change, but people's viewing habits stay similar. And like it's the viewing habits that kind of, get them your video, even if it's like 2 years old.
True. And it's much easier to find a pathway to success. So I'll just use myself as an example. Here's the things I would do. Okay. So you have to know yourself well enough to know what your interests are, so that you know where to look. Okay, it's because it obviously it's helpful if you follow your interests. Now, if your interests are tech related and computers and stuff like that, that's a highly saturated space. So
everything's highly saturated at this point.
No, that's actually not true. This is where YouTube can actually be helpful. Okay, so I'll give you some examples, right? First, I'll start with a bad example. I'm really good at computers. I can fix and build and electronics and stuff like that. I'm really good at that stuff. So, they're in the tech space. If I were to do like computer troubleshooting and repair, there's like already a top 10, I would say, of those people. Right? You know how on Twitch you want to be in the top 10 when you're streaming in whatever category you're in? You want to be in like that top 10 position in the game category, so people are more likely to click on your stream and come check you out.
Yeah, I made an app for that.
I know YouTube is similar in that you want to be in the top 10 of
The niche,
the
basically.
creator space, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's much easier to move into that top 10 if there isn't a top 10 already. Okay?
Oh, that makes sense.
If there's only 4 or 5 people doing really good videos, there may be hundreds of people making videos on a category, on a content suggestion, but if 5 of them are really good and the other ones are all like some dude on his webcam with a webcam microphone, bad mic, no, not well thought out, just hard to watch, hundreds of videos of that, and in some cases in these spaces there's plenty of room. There's only like 15 people who've made a video on the subject and 3 of them are good. So that means 7 other people have a chance, right? To like move into this space. Does that make sense?
Yep, it makes sense.
So tech is saturated. And not only that, but it's like the king in some sense for YouTube. Like
There's already
Linus Tech Tips.
There's subgenres in tech too, but I understand what you're like. I understand your point.
Well, you can, right? You can, of course, you can. And some of the stuff I'm going to be doing is tech related, but it's also more leaning into niche. Like building a computer is too generalized. Graphics card reviews is too generalized, and there's already like 10 top 10, maybe 15, 20 people doing an amazing job in that space. There's not really room for you. Whereas if you lean more heavily, let's say so let's go with good examples then. I have like every retro game console ever. I have a Mister. I have a really complex setup in my room just for like functioning. Like I have 3 Matrix in my setup. I've got 4 capture cards in my setup. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 monitors in my room, and they're all interconnected to stuff. The stuff I can get sent to the TV, I can get sent to the capture card, and get sent to a second monitor, and sent to a second capture card, and a third capture card. Like I have a lot of stuff connected in my room. So if I move into a review space, a tech review space of the equipment that I'm using and its weaknesses and strengths, then that could be really helpful. Like if I reviewed like HDMI matrix.
That's like educational content in that regard, but you can also
all content is educational.
That's fair.
Or if
all
it's,
content
if it's,
serves a purpose, but it doesn't necessarily like it won't teach you something.
Even Donkey is educating. Like
yeah, like that's the thing. It'll teach you
humor.
Something different though. Yeah.
So
like, but like there's the like the tech enthusiast space. There's
right.
the tech restoration space.
And
so
and
like,
the top tech YouTubers are not drilling all the way down into. Actually, it's helpful when they do sometimes. Like the people who make Mr. videos have had a bigger uptake in viewership because Linus Tech Tips did a video on the Mr. And so
it's the same as like how Linus is affecting the Linux community right now because they tried Linux for a week.
Right. So what do you want? I'm really interested in modern and retro gaming and getting things set up. I have a 7.1 surround system in my room. I have a 65-inch OLED TV. I've got all the fancy tech to play with. So that gives me an advantage.
I think you could tell like incredible stories that also kind of educate people, like how I set up my sound system, how I did this. But it's like because it tells me a lot about you, and it educates me as well. But there's personality in there. True.
So my goal, where I know I can fit in on YouTube, is to hone in on retro gaming / tech for modern retro gaming that's connected to retro gaming. I have the opportunity to make content that other people are making, but like 2 or 3 other people are making So there's plenty of space for me. Even in the top end of the retro YouTube creator space, there's plenty of room for Feckless knows. There's plenty of space for another retro content creator, especially someone like me who can like break down technical things, and like there's no good video on the M Classic. Do you guys know what the M Classic is?
No.
This is like a highly misunderstood product in the modern retro gaming landscape. People don't know how to use it. They don't know how to get it working right. The M Classic is one of those. It's a little HDMI upscaler, so you feed it with a signal, and then it upscales. It's perfect for the Switch. It makes Switch games look fantastic. It's how you want a Switch Pro. M Classic's the way to do it. Now, it's not as straightforward as just buying an M Classic. Sometimes you have to buy another device to get it to work right, which is why it's misunderstood, and people don't really grasp how to use it properly in the gaming space, which is why there's room for me to make a video on it, because I know the damn thing inside and out. That's the next video that I'm working on for my YouTube channel. So there's that. And then another space I could move into that I'm really interested in and into, that there's a lot of room for growth for, which would actually probably be a great idea. I might make a second YouTube channel to do this, is Korean dramas. There's not a lot of YouTubers. All you have to do is go and look and see who's making this stuff. And you'll find that there's not a lot of videos on Korean dramas. There's maybe like top 10 and it's just like a bunch of trailers and like
watch Mojo's top 10 Korean dramas you should see.
Yes, that's what you'll see. Is a lot of stuff that's just like we recommend these top 10, top 20, and it's a robot voice talking over, reading a script over trailers or screenshots or whatever. And so there's actual space, and because of the success of things like Squid Game, and well, I think Squid Game is the reason, actually the biggest reason. Now we've got Hellbound, but that's because of Squid Game.
There's also that like Alice in something.
There are so
Alice
many.
in Borderland.
Alice in Borderland is Japanese, but
okay.
It is a good show. I agree, but Japanese shows, Japanese live action I don't think they have it nailed down the way Korean shows do, and it's hard to get that until you watch enough Korean shows. But Korean dramas, there is a space for creators to move in there right now. That is a great space to try to move into.
It's probably buzzing right now because of Squid Game.
Oh, big time. And then you've got Mr. Beast did a video so this is what I mean. You need to look at trends and that align with your interests already. Like me, I love Korean dramas. This is actually a new love for me because I didn't start watching them until like this year.
Oh, wow.
And I've watched so many at this point. We make jokes about them because they're so long. Like the episodes are so long, they're like movie length. Each episode, like we're watching Vincenzo.
Like it's an hour and a half.
An hour and 25 minutes per episode. Yeah.
Basically a 90-minute
movie.
like.
Yeah, they're movie length. Yeah, it's crazy. So, what you want to do is figure out where your interests lie and where there's room. Now, like I said, I couldn't make computer building and repair videos, troubleshooting videos. It's just going to get lost in the fray of other YouTube content. It's just not really viable. But retro gaming, big time viable. Korean show discussions, reviews, podcasting about that. That there's room there. There's even room for anime. This in the anime world still. There's not a lot of great discussions around anime, and I think everybody kind of assumes that this stuff's handled. Like there's already great content creators around this. I know somebody who created a horror movie podcast like a year ago, and it's popping off, like because there just isn't people doing it. And so you don't want to assume that your interest is oversaturated because they're not. They're probably not. And there's plenty of room, even if a lot of people are doing it, to do it better, right?
Mhm.
You want to do it better. So that's why I think
Yeah.
YouTube's the most powerful, because it's very easy to look at what is working in niche communities and content. It's Twitch is the same way. We look at what's working, and you can replicate it, copy it to a degree, and you can kind of test things. It's not really possible to do that with Twitter. Twitter. The things that make Twitter successful are toxic usually, and stupid, and it's dramatic. You don't really want to get caught up in it. The things that make TikTok work, I don't even know if TikTok's a good long term strategy, because you basically have to keep up with it like it's your main platform. It's basically an invasive tool from another country anyway, so it may not last that long. Once enough drama gets wrapped up into it, it may go away. And Reddit is a similar kind of cesspool. So I would just remove Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok from your content strategy completely. They can be there. You can be active on those platforms, but I would not even look at them at all. Like in any, I wouldn't care about them at all. I would literally drive all your energy and effort into YouTube and Twitch, your Discord, and your Patreon, like that. That would be your focus. But I also wouldn't focus on Discord and Patreon until Twitter and Twitch are working well. So I would put all of your
I love
energy.
what Feckless said.
We we prefer an invasion. True. Yeah. We're definitely losing the information war. That's for sure. So, okay, so that's my 2 cents. You can do whatever you want. And I don't think that there's a cut and dry strategy that will absolutely work. But I think you're oversaturating yourself with all the extra excess. I would literally put all of my energy into YouTube and Twitch. And I don't think you should stop Twitch. So let's go back. You said you want to cancel your
I'm not gonna stop Twitch at all. I don't want them taking my money. That's it.
But you're not going to be able to they're not going to take any money, and you're not going to take any money if you remove your affiliate
honestly,
contract.
I'd rather build myself up so that I can monetize other places rather than be just monetized on Twitch. Though Twitch is the easiest place to be monetized
But
on.
I don't understand how the affiliate contract keeps you from monetizing other places.
It's so right now, because I'm mainly a streamer, I think most of my monetization was Twitch. Is currently Twitch as well would be. But that's why I want different types of viewership. I just don't want Twitch viewership, and I feel like people don't really explore on Twitch anymore either.
I
It's
don't.
very little.
Well, what have you done to try and see that that's true?
Yeah.
Cause, well,
Speaking as
I mean,
somebody who built the top 10 search tool for a game category.
I've played that game. I've played the categories game, and you definitely do pick up people from categories, but I don't think that's I don't think that's the fast way of doing it, which
Okay.
I don't want to do it fast either.
Can I give you
But
some general feedback that I think might actually help you understand some of where your weaknesses may lie? The Twitch, you're right. It is. You're right in that growing is seems like it doesn't work. It's because viewers on Twitch are coming to expect a much higher standard out of streamers. They click on your stream and immediately can tell the difference between somebody who has good content, good stream. It's obvious because they're not looking at your stream. If you go look at your last few streams, what are the amount of views that people stopped by? How many people actually clicked on your stream? My lowest end clients, the ones that get less 10 viewers or less average, are still getting proper amounts of views and clicks, and they are growing, and they are getting discovered. But the weaknesses of most streams right now, why people aren't sticking to your stream, have to
Yeah, that
do
would be the worst.
with production first.
Hmm.
And your microphone is terrible.
Oh,
It's
I mean,
bad.
it's the Yeti. It's like the old
If you're
standard.
using a Yeti, you are immediately making it harder to be
No, but
successful.
I can't just get up and drop like $3,000 on
Just
like
buy a
a whole
Samsung Q2.
setup, and
Just
I'm
buy a Samsung Q2U and be done. All you need is a Samsung
okay.
Q2U and a mic arm. That's it.
Samsung
I've made
Q2U.
I've made tons of videos on this. I've talked about this endlessly. So you know, it the information is there if you want to know how to make this mic work. It's a $70 microphone. It is insanely good for the value. You will literally never need to buy another microphone ever. You won't have to. It will bring your audio is quintessentially the most important part of your stream. There is nothing about video that is more important than your audio quality. Your audio quality is the thing that matters most on your stream. The majority of people are listening to your stream. And if they have a hard time listening to your stream, especially your voice, that's going to immediately make them tone out. And because the production quality of streaming is just rising and rising and rising, computers are getting better. People are starting to understand that they shouldn't get a condenser microphone, that they need... I mean, the amount of people that own a Go XLR is insane.
Yeah.
The audio quality, if your audio quality is bad, anyone with a Go XLR and a $20 microphone is going to seem like they have a better stream than you. All you have to do to fix that is buy a Q2U. So it really is a competition in this sense. You're competing with every other stream, and you, if you really want to make it work, you really need the right tools. I had a teacher at university once say it's a poor artist that blames his tools, and that's bullshit. Because you try to fix a PlayStation 4 without a good soldering iron, good solder, and good flux. Not gonna happen. You're gonna burn the shit out of the board. You try to replace your graphics card without hands. Use your feet. It's not gonna be easy. Okay, tools are incredibly important, and you don't want to go to a mechanic that's gonna fix your car that has shitty tools, right? It's in this space, unfortunately, the competition is in quality. That's why this community is called Infinite
And
Quality.
how do you get that investment? Like, go out, you like basically not stream for like 3 years, build up the whole setup, and then come in.
A Q2U is $70.
I mean, I'm not just talking about QTU here though. Like, I'm just like, okay, that's audio, but then there's
Well,
camera, there's computer, there's
yeah,
everything
you
that you
can't
want to
stream
do.
until you can stream. That's true. If
So
you,
so there's like if you ever want to be on Twitch, there's there's an upfront investment
of course,
essentially.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's an upfront investment if you want to if you want to go fishing, or pick anything in the world that doesn't require an upfront investment. You know, I don't think it doesn't exist. It totally exists. That's why it's important not to waste your money on bad equipment, because like the Yeti is $100. That you should sell that thing if you can get
Oh, I mean, I've
$50.
had it for like 5 years at this point, so I got
Sell
it
it.
ages
Let some
ago.
other sucker have it. Seriously, it needs to go. The Yeti is the worst microphone on the planet, in my expert opinion. Um, it's actual garbage. Yeah, somebody will definitely buy an old Yeti from you. That's true.
I want to sucker someone. Now you're making me
Yep.
feel like.
Yep. The Yeti can be used well if you put it on a
Mhm.
microphone arm and you're an audio engineer and an expert. If you're not, just buy a Samsung Q2U and follow my
So
video
you're
advice
saying
on
a
how to
good
set it up.
audio engineer wouldn't blame his tools, huh?
Yeah. No, an audio engineer would blame his tools. If you give an audio
Yeah.
engineer Audacity, they're going to be mad at you. They want Pro Tools or Cubase at minimum, or Cakewalk. They, if you hand an audio engineer, like a professional audio engineer, yes, a good audio engineer can make anything work, but that doesn't mean they're going to be happy doing it. No audio engineer is going to be happy using a fucking $12 plastic, TRS microphone to record a drum set with. Most will just walk out. So, yeah, the Yeti picked up your neighbor's house two houses down. Yeah, it's a terrible microphone. It's horrible mic. It's garbage. There are ways to waste. Unfortunately, in this space, there are ways to waste your energy and your money. So, but yeah, if you want to make streaming work and viable, there is a barrier of entry. Just like there's a barrier of entry on your personality. If your personality sucks, good luck. You could turn your stream on all you want, right?
True.
It's unfortunate, but it's true. But like webcam, people will totally forgive you for if you have a shit webcam. No, like you don't need a great webcam. You can have a cheap webcam. It's totally acceptable still. But a microphone, that's where a lot of people will draw the line. If your stream sounds bad, audio is the most important thing. The balance, the mix, and how clear so it's not just the mic as well. You need to be able to hear the stream well enough to know what's too loud and what's not. This is the advantage of the Q2U. So you can plug your headphones right into it and you get an idea of how loud you sound compared to everything else. Which is the advantage of a soundboard, but a soundboard is a more direct one-to-one. I know exactly how loud you are in comparison to me, how loud the music is in comparison to me. There's no guessing. It's not done visually through meters in OBS. I have 1 meter in OBS and that's it. So a soundboard is like top end. You're done. You buy it and you're good to go as long as you take care of it. But a Q2U is enough. I mean, I could make a Q2U work forever. I wouldn't need a soundboard if I had. Well, I do have a Q2U, but I have a soundboard. So, and I want you guys to have the best chance and best success there is. But this is why it can be really difficult to be successful on Twitch, because you're really in competition with the last stream somebody watched. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what Sunny is saying, everywhere is competition.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
And honestly, Twinkie,
Mm-hmm.
your stream is fantastic, except for the audio. I honestly think with the right microphone and settings, you would see a much greater level of success with what you're doing, because you lower the barrier of entry for the new viewer by doing that. Because there's nothing wrong with who you are as a streamer. Even with the bad audio, I've sat through your streams and interacted with you as a streamer. Do you see what I mean here?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I'd have to look into the logistics of I'll just order one, but I'm gonna
Buy one and watch my video. I have a video on exactly
Yeah.
what you need to do to set it up.
Oh, absolutely.
It'll take you 15 minutes and you'll be done forever.
Mhm. That makes sense. That's a good piece of advice there.
Like, honestly, people want to listen. You got to imagine people just came from the Joe Rogan podcast to your stream.
Oh, that's fair.
That is happening. You really have to you have to give yourself the best chance possible for, and this is why Infinite Quality is named this way. You you really need to strive to push the quality envelope so you stand out, because nobody has, the new viewer doesn't have the opportunity to get to know you if they leave because your audio sucks, right?
Makes sense. Yeah.
So you could have the greatest personality in the world, but if your mic sounds like absolute garbage, you should, good luck. So, and the level, what I mean by garbage, the playing field has shifted. 10 years ago, a Yeti sounded good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But,
I think that's why like child Twinkie was like, oh Yeti, because
right,
yeah.
the Samsung Q2U came out 16 years ago.
Oh.
On my video for it, one of the last comments was something like, isn't this mic like 4 years old? I'm like, so who cares? The SM58's like 40 years old or something. Like, who gives a shit? Like,
At a boomer microphone, see it.
oh man, you're using an SM7B? Oh my god, didn't Michael Jackson use that? Like,
Well, that's a compliment there. But
I would take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, the Shure microphones are ancient in as far as microphone. The capsule has been the same since forever, you know. So, yeah, this is why the barrier to entry. The 7B is an updated version, but the capsule is still the same. The stuff that's been updated the 7B is different. Is technically a different microphone from the one Michael Jackson used, but generally speaking, it's the same. That's not that much different. So, yeah. I mean, how old something is shouldn't matter. It's how good it sounds and how well it works, right? You know. That's really the most important thing. Man, the randomizer is stuck on this core. I'm gonna reboot. So.
Sadly, I gotta go. Sunny.
Thanks,
Twinkle.
Ken. Have a good
See you guys later.
Have a good sleep.
Yeah. You too.
It's like the middle of the night there, so
Yeah, it is.
go get some rest.
Apparently, I'm now third place in the rankings, Sunny.
For what?
My shawarma video. If you type shawarma, you'll see me. In the third
it's
place.
bumped up.
That's crazy.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Good.
Anyway, I'll gotta go. Bye.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bye.
was Jin calling me Twinkle the entire time?
Maybe.
No, sorry, I meant
Maybe.
God damn it! No.
Twinkle.
It's happened on your stream. I remember that.
I remember that. Yeah, my bad.
Twinkle. Twinkle. Twinkie.
I'm so
twinkle.
tired.
Go to sleep.
Have a
Ken.
nice rest, Jin.
I gotta go.
Okay, so let's talk, Twinkie. Let's discuss the affiliate contract.
Is it Gin, not Jin? Okay.
It's Gin. Yeah.
Oh, Gin. Okay.
Let's talk about the affiliate. Actually, I should probably grab some water. Does anybody else want to come and join voice? The next topic of discussion is going to be the affiliate contract and whether or not Twinkie should drop it. There could be a good reason for you to drop it, but I want to discuss it and see where you're at and see if maybe it's not a good idea. So that's the next topic of discussion. If nobody joins, I'm going to just turn the music up a little bit and go BRB. You can hold the stream and chat with people, Twinkie. I'll be right back. Oh yeah, I'll be right back. I gotta grab
and we'll just have the musical stylings of Sunny Machine, whatever he put on. I don't even know what to say. Hello. Infinite Quality Universe. Once my OnlyFans takes off, I will drop affiliate. Why do you, is that like, are you like memeing or is that for real? Because if it's for real, what's your ideology behind that? Do barrel roll. I can do one, but I'm not on camera. Oh, Over Linux is never for real. Fair enough. is very fair. But I mean, OnlyFans is a cool place, honestly. Like, if you're wanting to create that kind of content, although there's like so many different it's always about the alternatives, isn't it? It's like there's an alternative about with everything at this point. It's like there's OnlyFans, there's Fansly if you want to not do like, really NSFW stuff. There's Fan House, Patreon is there. Like there's like direct creator to creator subscription platforms for everything at this point. Yeah, it's wild. The I don't know if I'm allowed to like mention lewd stuff on this stream, so I don't want to go deep into it. Then he's gonna like come and like bonk me to quality jail, infinite jail. Infinite jail sounds better. Oh, that would be a fun stream. Although I'm guessing that's also a meme. Imagine having like a Lego Creations OnlyFans though. Like a cool sort of lewd builds Lego OnlyFans. You do it to mess with people. I hear him moving. I hear him doing stuff. Probably about to sit down.
Okay. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay, so let's discuss.
We had a lovely discussion about OnlyFans.
Yeah. OnlyFans is it's fantastic. I don't know. I've actually never looked at it, so I'm guessing it's probably just like Patreon, but adult.
It's just buds.
Only fantastic. Water, so good. Okay, so explain to us your thinking thoughts behind this affiliate thing and why you want to cancel your affiliate contract. You haven't yet, right?
It's not gone yet. I mean, I sent the email, but they never really removed it.
They may not for a long time, but you can always reapply. So
Actually, it's really hard to get it back once it goes away.
oh well, just email them again and be like, never mind. If you want to cancel it, but
Like, oopsies, psych. It was getting to a point where like it just like Twitch as a platform. Like honestly, I'm excited for. Do you know about Altair? Altair.
no.
So Altair is like a new platform. It's probably not gonna take off very well, but it's like around mental health creators, and it's like ex Twitch employees working on that. But it's supposed to be like a accepting community, whatever. But I'm also like there's so many live platforms at this point, and like the culture on Twitch just doesn't feel like it doesn't feel accepting anymore. It doesn't feel like the company as a whole cares about you, and I feel like they don't. They never have. It's mostly about being the most profitable company ever, and that's everybody's goal. But at the same time, it feels like they treat their creators as assets rather than these are the people that make us the money, so let's treat them nicely.
I agree. Twitch could do a lot better job.
So why would I want to stay and like contribute to that mindset and like just not
Here's why you
do
should.
anything about it?
Here's why you should stay. You should stay to be that voice, asking for that change. That's why you should stay. And you're not going to change anything by quitting.
But I'm also not going to change anything if I'm that voice, but I'm also still giving them all my money, like 50% of everything I make. Because
Okay,
like
now that's
at
almost
that point, it's
that's a
like,
different.
yeah, you're like, it's like the music industry, right? Like musicians sing about burnout and like about how the music industry is sucking their souls. But at the same time,
But why do artists still
the music records are making all their money.
sign those deals? There's a
And
reason.
then they also break off from those deals and go do like there are artists that are now like breaking off and doing their own thing and all that.
Most of them still want to sign a deal with a record label. And so let's discuss the money thing. So you're worried, you think it's a negative thing that Twitch takes 50%.
Like if I want, like honestly, like if you want to be that voice, then you gotta hit them at the wallet as well. That's like if we're coming from that approach.
If you want to hit them from the wallet, canceling your affiliate contract isn't really going to do that much. It would actually be better for you, I think. First of all, let's talk about whether or not it's okay for Twitch to charge 50%. that their fees, right? You're worried about you're really only talking about subs because bits are not a 50% thing.
Yeah, but I mean because it's 50% beforehand.
So
Well, it's not fully 15. It's like I don't even know.
But you're still
how much it
really
is.
the 50% thing is the affiliate contract with the sub part of your revenue, right?
But you as a viewer still pay more money for bits than the amount of bits you get. So it's not
That's
like
true,
1-to-1
but
still.
the choice to do that is on the viewer,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's no choice with the viewer to give you 50% of the sub, right? Okay, so let's talk about whether or not it's fair that the sub split is 50-50 like that.
Hylian brings up a big point. Hylian, like the place I live, I don't have PayPal. So like my only monetization apart from Twitch is actually Patreon. There's no
You
like
can't use
other.
PayPal?
No, the Turkey doesn't have PayPal, sadly.
That's unfortunate.
Like Twitch was like the biggest way of revenue for me, but yeah, it's like it's better to slowly grow other things. Honestly, like
Well,
it's also like it's not my full-time job. I don't like it's not something that's like feeding me.
right. So
So it's not
let's
fully like making money is not the main issue at that point.
let's discuss the split first of all. Like let's drill down into that because I think this is there's probably there's a few ways to look at this. I understand people think it's a big deal that Twitch takes 50% of the sub revenue. I get that. That seems like it's a lot. Playing devil's advocate a little bit here, I'm not so sure that it's all that bad that they take 50% of the subs.
In full force, it's not bad. But so okay, so sub is 50%. What about like ad revenue then? That's like 90% or 99%. You get cents on an ad.
That's true for YouTube as well. That's true on every platform with advertising. You're not going to make very much off advertising. You'll make more on YouTube because people pay more to put their ads on YouTube than they do on Twitch. So the ad thing, that's almost a secondary topic because.
Let's stick to subs, yes.
Let's just start with the subs.
Let's end one topic and then transition.
Yeah. So Twitch takes 50% of the sub revenue. People feel like that's a lot, but they also charge you nothing to stream.
But so doesn't YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. Like they charge you in the data they're collecting, but they don't charge you to do the thing.
YouTube and Twitch.
It's also like Amazon like runs AWS. Like Amazon has the servers. So server cost isn't the thing there.
No, it is a thing. It does cost them money. Electricity, maintenance,
but they
upgrades.
but they definitely like Amazon is running all of Netflix right now. So technically,
but they're using the infrastructure on Twitch, which could be sold to a different client for actual income. It's not making them money. They need to make money through the Twitch platform in order to pay for what could be an asset to make income through different clients, a different measure.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
So it's a little disingenuous to describe it as free. It's not really free. It does cost money. It costs them less money, but they lose more money by not sourcing it out to a client.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say the 50% split on the subs, it does seem really high.
But then, if that was the case, then wouldn't they have a lower split for higher earning partners? Because
They
then
do.
you would want to make more money
They
up
do.
there. No, it's a 70-30, 70 to the partner. That means Twitch makes less money on the partner, right?
Right.
For like the lower tier. For the higher tiers, it can be like negotiated. So why like I would keep those 50-50, but because then Twitch makes more money that way.
Well, at some point it benefits them to reinforce, and it just like any job, you want to get you want to incentivize your employees, like through bonuses, vacations. There has to be like some sort of structure outside of just the paycheck. Typically, companies offer all kinds of extras. And so all Twitch really has to offer is an extra split, a better split. So
It's just like riding on a bicycle for points.
so my point is that I don't necessarily think it's that bad to have a split of 50-50 with Twitch for the income, because any business, the only part that I think is bad, it sucks, is that it's not tax deductible for the streamer, and that they lose that money. That would really help, actually, if Twitch could figure out how to pay and then deduct the money as a fee, so that it could be deducted in the taxes of the streamer. That would be good, because in a lot of ways, any business you start, you're going to have a ton of excess payments and fees and infrastructure that needs to be paid for in order to run and operate the business. You do have to pay, like if you have a bakery, you have to pay for the building, the materials, the POS system. There's monthly payments on internet and electricity, and
Just the flour.
yeah, the ingredients. Then you have to put the work in to bake the stuff. There's a lot of overhead costs, and streaming doesn't have that. Streaming has an initial investment, like we were talking about, and you have monthly payments, but that stuff is tax deductible. Your internet and even the equipment that you buy for your stream is tax deductible. So Twitch is basically charging you rent on your subs, and so they take it out of your subs. The space for you to do your business is 50% of your sub revenue for affiliates, which I actually feel
I think then it should
good.
also be like, because then it feels, at the end of the day, it feels unfair to the viewer as well, because when the viewer gives you $5, they think they're giving you $5, and that's the marketing behind it. It's like, oh, you're subbing for $5, this person gets $5. They're not subbing because they want to pay rent for Twitch. They're subbing because they want to support the person that's on screen.
It depends on the viewer, I guess.
I don't think anyone here wants to sub to pay Twitch's rent. I doubt that.
I don't mind Twitch taking half the sub revenue, because I want them to continue to operate as a business and function. And
I think a lot of what Sword of Berserk said there is like, I think a lot of people do think it's the full $5. I don't
know that that's true. I don't know enough of how viewers are thinking about this, but I've barely run into people that didn't know that Twitch took a split. I think
it's because you're in the streamer space, though. It's like when you're just like amongst viewers,
the majority of viewers are streamers.
View stuff.
the
That is
majority.
true too. That's a different problem Twitch has, but
I don't think that that's a
yeah.
problem.
It's not a problem. It's just like
I don't get why streamers can't also be viewers. I don't get why they have to be
streamers
separated.
can also be viewers, but it's essentially like you don't have people just here to be entertained on an entertainment
Why not?
website.
Why don't just because I'm a streamer doesn't mean I don't want to also be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
I
No, it
don't.
makes sense. It completely makes sense. It's just like, do everyone on
It's,
Netflix want to make movies? Like it's like that.
maybe. I mean, if you like
and
making
and
movies, you
even
typically
like
like watching
YouTube, it's
them.
like not everyone on YouTube. Like I go to YouTube just to chill
I
sometimes.
think
Like I'm
most
not.
YouTubers watch YouTube videos.
Yeah, most YouTubers watch YouTube videos, but there's also a handful of people that don't want to do anything on YouTube that just go on YouTube to watch YouTube videos. And I don't think Twitch has a very small majority, like minority of that.
Yeah, I just still think I just don't think 50% of the that one's fine, feckless. PG-13. The I don't think it matters that Twitch. I feel like there's an argument to be made that Twitch can take 50% of the sub revenue off of
It's
affiliates.
also okay, take 50%, but then also like
You're in a different
give us
position.
give us like communicative stuff about like better your communication. Tell us how like make us excited
There is a
about
lot,
the
yeah.
website.
So here's the
Like
thing.
the website is like shoddily put together with duct tape, but also
True. Okay, but no one else is able to do it as well as Twitch that have tried, which is really should say something. Yes, we all expect Twitch to do better and do more, but everyone else has sucked worse at this, right?
that's fair, but at the same time, it depends on their like. For instance, you on YouTube, if let's say a Game Theory or Mr. Beast or a Dream goes live, they would have more viewers than the top person on Twitch at that point
But the amount of
because they
viewers does not make the
like they
amount
would
of
have more people coming into that. So even though yes, that platform as a whole might not have those, if we're just counting numbers, might not have those numbers all the time. They have the people that can pull those.
so. Would you
So
rather
it's
have
not like
100?
it's
Would you rather have 100 viewers and $10, or 20 viewers and $300?
honestly the 100 viewers thing sounds better because I like that lets me create things that I know people see.
I'm in the opposite category. I'd
Like
rather
I don't want
have
to just make money. That's my thing though. Like I want to do both. I would
right.
rather I would rather make enough money that I can do all the things that I want to do. I don't want to just make money for the sake of making money. So if
So
$20 allows me to create all the things, but I have like 300 people that see this creative thing that I create, then I'm fine with the $20.
well, see, this is where I think that there's a bit of a choice to be made. If you want to go to YouTube and have 100 viewers and get $10, then that's what you should. That's what you should do. I'm more in the category of I'd rather have the 10 to 20 viewers and $300, because then when I get to 100 viewers, it's becoming
But
more
in this, but I'm
sustainable.
taking this scenario as like that's always the case.
What? No, it's never going to be always the case. The end goal can't be the beginning. That's a first phase, right?
Hmm.
If you want to make
So what you're saying is you want to start at 10 and 3, obviously, then yeah, 10 and 300 because then it
well, because
compounds when you get to 100.
you're not making any sort of movement on YouTube until you have 100 viewers on your live
Hmm.
streams, and the same level of movement only requires 10 viewers on Twitch. But you can make $200 to $300 on Twitch with those 10 to 20 viewers, and you're not going to make that on YouTube.
Hmm.
So it's really that's the kind of question. And
But YouTube
I don't
definitely
think you
does
need to be
compound
exclusive.
quicker though.
What's
I
that?
think on Twitch, YouTube definitely compounds quicker though. I do think that like when you get to that 100 viewer range, it's because YouTube's not just live streaming though, so I would have to compare like WOD views with live
Well,
stream
that's what I'm
views
saying.
rather
They're
than
not
comparing Twitch
exclusive.
and YouTube. Hmm.
You don't have to exclusively do one over the other. You can do them both.
Hmm. But if we're comparing like this money wise, like somebody who's averaging 100 views on Twitch, which would be, I don't know, how much would that be like as an average monthly? Let's say 100,000 views average monthly. If someone's getting that on every video on YouTube, they would be monetizing a lot faster and compounding a lot faster than they would be with 100 viewers on Twitch and just live streaming.
Right, but it is much more difficult to get to that level on YouTube than it is on Twitch.
Definitely.
They're both very difficult.
But that would be the apt comparison.
I don't know. I think YouTube is different because you can get that amount of views over a much longer period of time, whereas Twitch, it has to be compressed, so the energy is different, right? It could take you 8 years to get that on a video on YouTube, whereas on Twitch, if you do that within a month, that's insane. So it's not just about the overall total; it's about the time, the amount of time it takes. And also, streaming is a much lower effort content creation than making videos on YouTube. To make a good video on YouTube could take 40 hours, a month, or even a week to make a really good video, and then it may not get any views. Whereas you could just turn your stream on for 40 hours.
But you could also turn your stream on and be really amazing quality and do like really amazing stuff, and no one might see you.
Well, I wouldn't say no one is going to see if you do that. You're probably going to get somewhere. And
I don't think if I just go live, but I have this amazing production quality, and I'm like doing some high stakes event, whatever, but I'm just going live and there's no promotion, no nothing.
I mean,
There's
what
no
I did.
no way of people on Twitch just finding you. It takes time on Twitch.
I don't know. I was still getting follows and getting viewers, even playing oversaturated games.
I mean, yeah, you are, but it's like 2 a stream, 3 a stream, like.
Right.
And like it's still slow. So what we're saying is like just going live and getting followers is easy. Just going live and doing that your first stream. Most people's first streams have 0 viewers unless they already know people.
When I was at my lowest, just playing Apex Legends, getting 10 to 15 viewers.
But what was your first stream like?
3 or 4 viewers doing art.
And that's just like, yeah, so just 3 or 4 people seeing you in all of the art section.
Yeah. And then, but then the second stream was 5 or 6 viewers, and the third stream was 7 or 8 viewers, and the fourth stream was.
I agree with it growing over time.
Yeah.
But I
grew really fast on Twitch when I started. Within 3 months, I had 1,500 followers. It was fast, but I was also playing music. I was playing guitar and singing to people, so it's a little easier to get noticed when you're doing something very different. A few years down the line, I was just playing video games and I was playing Apex Legends, highly saturated. No one, you would think no one's finding you, but people were scrolling all the way down and clicking on my stream and following and subbing. I was, with 10 to 15 viewers, I was still making a good $200 to $300 in Twitch income a month at that point. Just playing Apex Legends. So there's no way I would be able to make $200 to $300 a month off of YouTube doing that same amount of work, putting that much time in. It takes more, there's more of an initial investment and failure at the beginning. So you have to be okay with failing. Although YouTube long term is better given the right content. Apex Legends videos on YouTube, they're not gonna go anywhere in 10 years from now, but my Samsung Q2U videos indefinitely good as long as that microphone is still available to purchase, right?
Yeah.
So, but going back to the affiliate thing, so you dropped affiliate. It sounds more like it was a principle thing, like you just don't want.
It is.
Did you feel like a hypocrite?
It's more of a principle thing and less of a like I want money or anything thing. It's definitely way more of a principle thing.
I think it's actually. So speaking, let's just objectively looking at it. There's a benefit to having the subscribe button and being an affiliate on Twitch because almost everyone who is serious about streaming has that. They have emotes. the emotes are a community building tool. They are people, if you do them right, at least, they are a way for your community, your viewers to like latch onto your stream. People will go into other people's streams and use your emotes. They'll use their favorite, they may be their favorite emotes. It's a community tool. So the affiliate contract offers you a deeper connection with your viewers, which is valuable for community building and growth on its own. So,
But
yeah.
also, how many people use like BTTV emotes more often than they use any Twitch emotes?
I don't know. I see Jared's emotes all the time in other people's chats. And that was even before he was partner. I see other people's emotes, other streamers' emotes all the time in chat
Like,
in
but
streams.
are they comparable to like, let's say, Omega Lol or People or
Well,
whatever? Like,
I mean, if you look at the stats, those are like incredibly overused as far as the user base goes. So no, those are always going to be. But that's not the
and
point.
those aren't like those aren't native emotes. So
That's
it's not like we've built, like, that's the thing, we've built as a community, we've built these cultures.
well,
The
but you're
company
missing
hasn't.
you're missing my point. Like if somebody buys your merch just because they only wear it one day a week doesn't negate the value that the merch provides that viewer. It's a connection between you, the creator, and the viewer. That's the community connection I'm talking about. The value is
It's
deeper.
so, like, the metaphor here is like, let's say I buy like a fan shirt from my favorite game from the creator themselves and all that, and I love it, versus I go to Hot Topic and I buy a t-shirt that has that game art on it. There's a different connotation there.
Yeah, what I mean is that the affiliate, there's a couple of things. New viewers are going to come in and see that you aren't affiliate. And that's going to make them form thoughts,
An opinion.
an opinion, or
Yeah.
subconsciously have a feeling like, oh, why is this? Like, I'm sure people come into this channel and be like, why is it not affiliate? Like the IQ channel is not affiliate, and that's on purpose. I want to be able to put these videos on YouTube right away. I'm not trying to make this content the thing. These streams need to not be about money. They need to be about the conversation. I don't want to have a bunch of alerts. I don't want to have this look like a stream. Like this is a different kind of approaching it differently. So
It's a live recording essentially. And that
yeah.
was one of my pros as well when I was doing sort of a pros and cons. It's like I do want to look at Twitch as more like a live recording,
Right, and
or
this
like
is
a
not
hangout session.
this is not for new viewers. This isn't for people. I'm not doing call to actions. Please follow the channel, all that stuff. This is just a chance for streamers to get
It's
together.
for the community to come in and sort
Right,
of.
it's for you guys. It's for these conversations. That's why we do have the Patreon.
But then how does IQ build the community? Like, where does IQ get that community?
What we have the stone brewing approach. We just let word of mouth do its thing, and because we want the most, we want people who want to be here, and we want the conversations to be, organic, and we don't want to try and prioritize growth. We want to prioritize the discussion, the conversation. The quality of the community matters, not the amount of people. If it's 10 people talking about what we can do better, that's more important to me than 1,000 people making a bunch of noise. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So mainly the affiliate, you as a streamer, the affiliate contract can help you create that sense of community for the new viewer. A new viewer might come in. It also gives you a gauge on how much support you are getting from your community, because it's very easy to subscribe. Twitch Prime, you do get more if people use Twitch Prime, which is nice. That's a nice little benefit. You can see how many people are Prime subbed. You get to gauge whether or not people are willing to support this thing through the sub thing. So the 50% split on whatever philosophical level can be debatable if that's good or bad, but the position of being affiliate gives you some empowerment towards how well you're doing and how well your community is supporting you and connecting with you through these mechanisms, because people want to sub. I also feel like putting pressure on a viewer to do to support you in a certain way is maybe not a healthy relationship for streamer to viewer.
What do you mean by that?
I feel like the viewer should always have their own responsibility to support how they want to, and you should give them the avenue to support however they want to. So if the viewer wants to sub to you, rather than tip, if you had tipping, because you don't because of PayPal, but if you did, or Coffee or Patreon, then you should give them the avenue to support you through that mechanism so that they can support you the way that they want to.
I think that's where the principle comes into. It's like if you truly want to just go give your money to Twitch and Amazon, go do it somewhere else.
I feel like viewer choice is better, and then you can educate people to make. You can say, hey, if you want to make the choice to support this, what I'm doing, so that the highest level of support, Patreon. Go to Patreon. They take the least amount, or just give me a tip, but you don't have that.
That's a big that's a big setback.
What about Stripe or something? Isn't there anything else you can take?
They're literally it's too difficult to honestly Stripe is also no Stripe isn't there's no online payment platform. There's local ones, but those would basically make people tip in Turkish lira, which I don't want them to go through that process.
I think my position is that the affiliate, even though it's so easy to get into and become an affiliate, we've kind of made it a meme about, you're affiliate, congratulations. I do think that it has a value beyond just money. It has a deeper value, because I enjoy the sub alerts. I enjoy going in and hitting the sub button, typing my little message in, and watching the alert happen, and watching the streamer react to the sub and say thank you.
I mean, Twitch is very highly gamified in that sense.
I think a lot of viewers
it feels like an achievement for both the streamer and the viewer to do all those monetized things.
Yeah.
And that is true.
I think there's a little bit of a disservice that you're doing yourself by not having the affiliate contract, because unless your plan is just to skip straight to partner, which is that what you want to do?
I mean, if they emailed me or yo, your partner, sure I would be, but also I still wouldn't want my I don't know, I still wouldn't want I don't know, this website needs to die, honestly.
Why does it need to die? Why do you want Twitch to die?
Or get better, have better people behind it and communication and everything. If it was a better when I first was on Twitch and between 2014 2017, I loved the site. I loved just this here's a new place where everybody plays video games, YouTube Let's Players, but it's live and it's fun and all this, and now it's just money.
If Twitch dies, where do we go to live stream and hang out and stuff?
That's the thing. This culture can honestly this culture could go to a better place that cares about it.
But there isn't a better place.
That's the thing. That I hate that. That's why I would still use Twitch for the streaming thing, because the culture of gaming on Twitch very much is alive. But the website itself could go away, honestly.
I don't know.
Do you truly believe the company behind Twitch? Do you truly think this company is worth supporting?
A company to me is an amorphous ever-changing, evolving thing. It's not a. It's not a.
So it can eventually get better, but right now it's
And
like
worse,
going down and down
and
and
or
down. And
worse.
it could, yeah.
I don't think Twitch is doing worse. I think they're doing better. I think what's happened is that more people, there's more of a spotlight on what's wrong with Twitch. That's always been wrong with Twitch. The stuff that's been wrong with Twitch since the beginning is always
That's
the
that's fair
spotlight is.
too. I've started noticing it in the last 3 years essentially, but yeah, it's
It's
probably
not
always
new.
been the case.
I would say Twitch is doing better. Yeah, I would actually say it's just that they are a snail. They're so slow. They are like, but so is YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is slower. Like
Yeah.
YouTube has like a whole Google funnel to go through
God,
before a decision is made.
Facebook's even slower too.
Yeah,
They're all really slow. If you start
but at
looking
the
at
same
them,
time,
they're all really slow.
in that case, Twitch has an advantage, but yet, like most of the moves that we see Twitch make is about like money rather than
But that's always going to be true. It's a
creative.
corporation. They're going to make that's going to be the decision that they're always going to make that decision. YouTube's
But
doing the
like for
same thing.
instance,
Why do you think
yeah, okay, okay.
YouTube
For
has
instance,
gone
like
way downhill, downhill in the past 10 years, further than Twitch has ever dropped. They became basically another. They're just television. They're just corporate television all over again. They the whole PewDiePie scandal. The corporations use that as an opportunity to move in and take over YouTube. And YouTube is basically just an extension of MSNBC and all the other news, Fox and CNN. I never used to see anything about Fox or CNN on YouTube. Now, every single day when I look at YouTube, there's entire rows dedicated to the top tier platforms of the bullshit media that I was trying to get away from by going to YouTube. YouTube is
well, let's just all go back to having GeoCities vlogs.
yeah. YouTube and the YouTube crashed and burned. Like now, YouTube Premium is like the best service on the planet because I don't ever have to watch a single commercial. I love it. And anytime I have to go to YouTube, like downstairs on my family TV or something, and there's commercials, I'm like, I can't do this. I don't watch any commercials. I hate
I haven't
commercials.
watched TV in maybe 2 years.
Yeah, I haven't had. Since I've been an adult. I'm 40. I haven't had cable. I've never paid for cable television ever. I've never had it. So, I YouTube and then removing the dislike button or the counter, the public counter is insane. It's the most insane thing that they've ever done. This YouTube, in my opinion, is crashing and burning much faster than Twitch, but they're so stable that it doesn't matter. It's like a planet-sized meteor crashing into the Death Star, fully assembled. It doesn't matter. It's so small in comparison to how big YouTube is that it's not going to do any real damage, even though everybody's pissed. YouTube can literally piss off like millions of people and it won't matter. Twitch, on the other hand, doesn't have that luxury. So when people get pissed off at Twitch, it becomes way more obvious and they look way worse. In my opinion, Twitch has a long way to go, but I don't think they're going to get there without the proper creators investing and reinvesting in this field properly. So I don't know. Maybe not being an affiliate for you is an okay idea, but I feel like you're cutting your leg off a little bit for distancing yourself from the Twitch community and platform, and expecting it. It's a very pessimistic look at it instead of an optimistic take of a hopeful future for what Twitch is and can be. Do you think there's anything redeeming about Twitch outside of the corporation?
I mean, the culture, like I've said it like throughout this stream. It's just like I love the culture. I love the people on here. Like, but I also think that's all community. Like that's all us. That's not Twitch. Like I don't see that as Twitch. I see that as Sunny Machine or whoever I'm watching. I see that, like I see them being responsible for that. I see us like we're the ones leading everything I like about Twitch. We're the ones deciding the culture. We're the ones deciding like what's a meme, what's trending, whatever.
I feel like we have more power than we think
Hmm.
to change and lead
Hmm.
the way that things happen on Twitch. And I think quitting the affiliate program or not becoming an affiliate doesn't empower you to help create
I don't think
that
you need
change.
the title of affiliate to empower change, though.
Well, again, it's like the community aspect. If you're divorcing yourself from the community, how do you expect to
But you're not
influence
divorcing
change?
yourself from the community. It's just
You
one
are.
thing that you're removing.
You're
It's
not.
like
It's not.
it's
It's
like
not one thing you're removing. You're removing people's ability to interact with your stream through financial
through
support,
through
to
one thing.
have your emotes and have access to your emotes well
Hmm.
on
But
Twitch.
like my emotes can be on BTTV. My interaction can
But they
be
can't use them in other people's channels.
through coding. Like
Channel points, emotes,
yeah, I can
support.
have all that through like a bot.
No, you can't because there's a UI built into Twitch to show people what the channel points do. It's much more transparent and obvious how it all works. It's a better relationship. It's why it's a community building thing.
Yeah, like I those honestly
And you can't
those
have better Twitch
features are
TV emotes.
great.
You can't have better Twitch TV emotes that are personalized that everyone can use in
Mhm.
every channel.
But does that accentuate my voice?
No, it's a way for people to stay connected with you, their favorite streamer.
But the people can like there's other ways to stay connected with me as a streamer.
But you're not allowing people to have that connection with you. You're immediately disconnecting.
I don't think like money should be tied to that connection
It's
though.
not about
Like
the money. You're making it about the money. I'm trying to say that the value is beyond the money because the viewer
Mhm.
gets to have your emotes in all the way across Twitch in every channel. Do you see how that's a deeper connection than just? It's not just about the money. It's about the viewer's connection to you. There's
Mhm.
one thing that's really valuable in this creator space, and that's that longer term connections, the things that help people remember that you exist. Your emotes are one of those things. If you have an emote that's their favorite emote that they can use everywhere because you're their favorite streamer, it reinforces your relationship without you even being live or being there.
I would rather someone remember me for something cool
But they're
that
not
I
going
did
to.
rather than just like what? How can you say that though?
That's not
Because there
because
are
that's not
creators
how
that you
humans work.
remember.
Humans don't
So
work this way.
humans.
Humans need
Oh,
constant reminders that you exist
so how do you remember creators off Twitch?
because they have a habit of using your emote, their favorite emote.
No, no. How like let's like I'm not talking about Twitch streamers. Like everywhere else, does like is Twitch the
There's a
only
reason that
website where people have communities? Like
there's a
that's not
reason.
true.
No, there's a reason that Coca-Cola spends so much money on advertising, even though everyone knows what Coca-Cola is.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why these giant companies invest millions of
Hold up one sec.
dollars. The short-term memory of people is real. Okay, I'm gonna do a colder boot because this is just getting stuck on every core it loads. Yeah. Yep, advertising is all about remember us. Remember, remember, remember. That's why I think there's an argument to be made for the 50-50 split not being that unfair, because it creates a deeper value than just the $2.50 or the $5. Twitch is giving you guys a chance to create deeper connections with viewers, right? That's true. We only have room in our brain for 100 people. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. You gotta maintain the connections where you can, and Twitch is trying to give you guys the opportunity. these are tools for community development.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, you're
I'm back.
fine.
My roommate needed something.
No, you're good. Yeah, my point was that advertisements are not like Ty says in Highly Pickles is saying, advertising isn't a use our product, it's a remember our name. And that's what the emotes do for you, with the relationship to the viewer. So, and Perm makes another good point that each human only has room in their brain for about 100 people to remember, and everyone is vying for attention. So the more things you have in place to tie a relationship between you and viewer together so that they remember you and don't get replaced by the next streamer that they come in contact with.
But okay, so yeah, that completely makes sense if you're looking at Twitch in a bubble though. But if I'm looking at it as it's a part of my content creation aspect, it's not just like I'm not just the guy
Of
who's
course.
on Twitch.
I just don't think
Then
you're doing. I just don't think there's a need to not have the affiliate contract in order to go to other platforms.
but there isn't that much of a need to have it either.
I disagree. I think there's a huge value in if you utilize the affiliate contract properly. I think type that again, Doc, but type it right.
Okay, I get what your point. Like I agree with you. I'll see where I'm at in a few months, I think.
I think I agree with you too. That Twitch needs to do better. I just don't want to see people leave the platform when what we need is to be the reason Twitch changes.
Or we just all leave and find a better place.
If that was going to happen, it would have happened already.
Or create a better place. Like that's the thing though.
It's
Twitch
not
is
going to
pretty
happen.
young. When it comes to like internet websites, Twitch is very young.
Are they that young anymore? I
Like
think
compare them to the people they're competing against, they're not that old. Like,
well, the oldest websites are all dead.
but like a Facebook or a YouTube, they've been around since like 2005, which
is only about 5 years before Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch was like 2010, 2011, and like it didn't it wasn't in that position to compete back then. It kind of came into that space around, let's say, 2015 probably. That's when they actually started to compete. Like,
they were pretty big at 2015.
like that's where I would say that's where they start hitting like mainstream levels of like attention of people like on the street knowing, okay, twitch.tv.
I would say Twitch is
like,
still not mainstream.
to a degree, it's still not, honestly.
So that's where you're right, that they're young. They're young in that sense that nobody knows who they are. But
they're young in terms of attention. Like Fortnite did wonders for them, but like now Fortnite's gone. Among Us did that too, but yeah, in that case they're not that that relevant.
Pickles is asking, why do you care so much people choose to sub to you? Live streaming is young. That is true.
Yeah, live streaming is very young. Why do I care that people choose to sub to me? I don't necessarily want people to I don't care if people sub to me or not, honestly. I just want to make cool stuff. So technically I don't care if people sub to me. But the care part of that is the fact that like me as a person doesn't like Twitch, so I don't like being a cog in their sort of monetization wheel. It's basically like quitting a job that you don't like.
Yeah, that's true. It would be much easier to just remove yourself entirely from Twitch.
But at the same time, it is if I want to do like stuff with games, it is the platform for doing stuff with video games.
I mean, if it doesn't matter that people.
So like what my ideology right now with Twitch is, it's like using it as just a live streaming service essentially. Whereas like my main stuff is on YouTube, and like all the great content and everything is there, and then like Twitch is like, oh, I'm going live and let's have a conversation. Let's like, connect as a community. Or it's basically like a live Discord voice chat, if that's a way of putting it. Eh, Like we're hanging out, and that's just the live section of us hanging out.
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
like a behind the scenes of like the content's being created and you can see it be created, but you'll get the polished version on YouTube later probably.
I feel like it's we that's where there's like the question is like you don't want to be an affiliate, but you don't want to give up streaming.
But I still want to have a live aspect to my content.
Well, yeah, but you could do that on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube,
That's fair.
and you could do that in Discord for sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I definitely thought about like a multi-streaming thing. I also thought about Discord, but then it's like so part of it would be discovery as well. As like that's why I have so many things on here. That had so many things on here because of the discovery aspect. It's like I would love for people to see my content. Like I would love for people to see the things that I do. So like it would have to be a public place that has eyes.
Right. So you yeah, I mean you're gonna do whatever you want with your decision. I'm just I just feel like quitting the affiliate program does you more harm than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Like the value of the affiliate program is way beyond the money that's involved.
Mm-hmm.
So
I definitely want to. This is more like personal stuff, but I definitely want to like have solutions for all the features that Twitch definitely provides to an affiliate. So like I want to make like
I don't think
like
there
a
is.
better software thing and all that stuff to sort of build that part in my own sense, but that would just be for my own community.
I mean, I don't. The emotes are impossible to replace. You can replace things at levels,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, but it's not gonna fully. You're not gonna be able to fully replace it. Right.
I'm wearing khakis right now, Feckless.
So like, Better Twitch TV doesn't replace Twitch emotes, unfortunately. It can allow people to use emotes on PC, but not their phone. So it won't cover the phone. People on the phone won't see them. So you're leaving out mobile viewers there. They can't use them in other people's channels, unless they added it to they have to pay. They'd have to pay Better Twitch TV, and then add it as a personal emote, so they could use it anywhere. And then even then it doesn't cover mobile. So the channel points.
How many? Like I'm sure there's more viewers on mobile because there's just more people on mobile. But how many like engaged viewers are actually through mobile for Twitch?
I think most people are watching on desktop, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's like a lower percentage of people actually watching long term. People probably check out your stream or something.
Like people probably like put it up on mobile, but I don't think they engage through mobile. At least I don't, and most people I know don't.
I feel like I actually engage more when I'm on my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you chat more?
Because it's easier
or
for
you
me.
emote more?
Yeah, because when I'm using my computer and stuff, I'm usually sitting and watching on stuff on my TV, and I barely have access to my keyboard. I mean, I do, but it's like a pain. So it's easier for me to just get. A lot of times when I'm on talking, people message me on Discord, and I'll respond on my phone, even though my keyboard and mouse are right next to me. I don't know. The thing is, you're not going to be able to replace the value of how the viewer feels hitting the subscribe button. I think there is a value there that's harder to pinpoint and place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can replace that because you
on
don't have
screen
PayPal.
You can, in the chat you can.
No, you can't because you don't have PayPal, so you have no way to create a monetary.
Patreon. I can make Patreon appear on screen. I actually do have
through
Patreon
Muxy, right?
Actually, it's right now it's on Streamlabs, but
okay. You used to be
whatever,
able to do it through Muxy as well. That's what
I
that's
didn't
what
check
we
out
did.
Muxy, but I might. I should actually.
You might actually. We might ask the streamer.bot dev to be like, hey, can you make Patreon alerts a thing?
Well, I was thinking of like going in and doing that myself for
Yeah.
streamer.bot because it's pretty easy to hook up streamer.bot to anything.
Yeah. If you could do that, then you could share the code for it on the Discord, and that would be great.
Absolutely.
That would be good. So you could have a Patreon
Like
alert.
I do want to do that stuff, and like that was my thing with like I want to create solutions around that for my community.
It's just so much harder to hook up. So you got to remember, most people have the barrier of entry to a sub is so easy.
That is true
They
because
click
Twitch
sub.
makes it easy. Yeah.
They just to confirm it. Their payment's already saved in Twitch. It's a couple of clicks and the sub goes through. If you Patreon, most people, the majority of your viewers, new and current, are not going to have a Patreon account set up.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
they'll have to go
I mean,
through.
that's the thing. The
sign up.
monetization part of it, if it only exists like if you're like, okay, I really want to support you, so you're like, okay, fine, this exists, you can support me. But otherwise, like, just be here, just wipe, just have a good time.
But
Like, it
how are
doesn't.
you going to give people emotes through Patreon?
But emote, like, good time doesn't directly equate to emotes, though.
It's
That's
a
the
community
thing.
thing, dude. There's more. There's a deeper
It's one
value.
aspect of the community thing. Sure, you lose out on that one aspect, but there's other ways to have a good community without just having emotes. Like, emotes shouldn't
It's
be
not
this
that. It's
big
a
of a
part.
point. Like,
It's the Twitch community. It's people. The expectation of new viewers is that they would be able to come in, sub, and get your emotes.
but
It's a
like,
part of the
I
culture.
even then, it's like just for them to get to that point where they want to sub and get the emotes. It's like they've watched me enough that they'll dig my vibe and like me enough to do that. So they're already taking part in that community in other sense in a different sense before they're even getting to that point.
I think the point is that there is a expectation to be a part of the Twitch culture. And so when you don't have your affiliates signed up, you're disconnected from that Twitch culture itself. So
It's the
it's like you're edgy or something.
I'm freaking edgy. I'll
Um,
I'll make it cool to not be a sub. Screw it if that's what it takes.
um,
To not be an affiliate, I mean.
but so then the reasons that you're not doing the affiliate contract disappear when the partner contract shows up, even though they're the
Not
exact.
really, no, they don't. Like like even with partners, just like it's a tick. That's all it boils
Partner,
down to for
right?
me.
Partner and affiliate. The difference is the check mark.
It's a tick,
That's it,
right? So it's an aesthetic thing.
right?
So like yeah, I still don't want to give them my money even if like it's
So
partner.
you
That's
wouldn't
why
take.
like you can no, I definitely wouldn't. Yeah.
You wouldn't take.
If I'm like being fully truly honest with myself, I wouldn't take it.
Okay.
If I'm memeing, then I would say like, oh yeah, cool, it'd be nice to have a tick, but it's just a tick.
Right. I just think.
Like it's I like honestly, it'd be better if they had like verified creator.
I think
Like,
it's
oh,
going to
this
be.
person is real. That's it.
I think it's going to be very hard to grow your stream with such a counterculture attitude. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Is that you want to be counterculture, but the Twitch culture is important to viewers.
But that like I don't want to be just a Twitch creator too. Like that's part of it though. It's
Well,
like,
that's what I'm saying. I
sure.
don't think you should
Which
be.
is the place I live stream.
Just stream on YouTube. Don't just ignore
Yeah,
Twitch. You're doing yourself you're doing yourself a disservice by trying to grow a stream that has on Twitch where there's this culture and expectation, and you want to be so counterculture.
Maybe yeah, I'll sit down and think about YouTube. Then maybe you're right about that. Because I'm sure like there's an audience that exists for YouTube game. It's just like every time I've looked at like the gaming audience on YouTube, it feels very sided towards like like very small similar types of games. Like
don't
I
know.
couldn't find a Stardew streamer community on YouTube.
YouTube is
Although when YouTube Gaming existed, like when it was a separate, it wasn't a separate website, it was still on YouTube, but they made sort of a separate space for it. I feel like they were doing good because I was actually seeing a lot of different types of creators jump into it and have a lot of different types of like streams and all that.
YouTube Live is a big question mark right now.
Like that's the thing, they integrated it back into the website and then just like completely made it so you like it's just YouTube. Like there's no section for live, there's no there is, but it's not like prevalent on the homepage.
See, I think that just like the thing that I think we're trying to impress on you is that the viewers are trying to, they have a comfort level. Okay, so they have, and they're the stream, you not being an affiliate and being so counterculture is a discomfort within the overall Twitch community. And so
I'm okay making people uncomfortable.
But good streams and growing streams are there because people like to go there and they feel good and it's like it's their place. It's like a security.
But like how somebody said in the chat before, it's like, you know, when a YouTuber's on Twitch, because there's no emotes in chat, but there's still people there to feel good and watch them.
No, he's actually, Feckless is saying that is a very negative thing, right? I'm pretty sure that wasn't a positive.
No, they definitely meant it as that was a positive. What? I thought they meant it as a negative thing. It's like, yeah, these people don't adhere to Twitch culture.
They have viewers because they're massive. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you don't have to be massive on Twitch though. That's the thing. You can be massive elsewhere.
It's fine, Feckless. Don't worry about it. No, what I'm saying is you're gonna have viewers come into your stream, and they're immediately put into a position of being like, you're taking away their security blanket feeling. You're making them uncomfortable, and you're saying, if you're going to be here, you have to be uncomfortable because it's such a counterculture to.
I mean, Infinite Culture doesn't have affiliate. Is everyone in chat uncomfortable right now? Is nobody comfy right now?
Well, this is different. You can't use this stream as an example. Like, if somebody came into this stream,
like, wouldn't it be nice if there was an Infinite Quality emote though?
Yeah, it would. It would be nice. That would be nice. And I could sign up for affiliate.
I feel like you're doing everyone a disservice by not having one. Right?
I might be, and I've thought about that. I've definitely thought about that. And there's been discussions about actually signing the affiliate contract for this channel, but I'm already an affiliate on my channel. So I'm not even sure that I should have two channels that are.
I mean, it could be all just contract. Like a charity fund or something.
Well, IQ's not
and
free.
And also Twitch is rent.
That and IQ isn't free. It would be nice to have the extra income. Luckily, we have enough people.
Just go into the website and like all the.
Luckily, we have enough people signed up on the Patreon right now to at least cover the monthly expenses. A couple of the yearly is still being out of pocket, but that's fine. We're really close to being able to cover what IQ is doing. So that means anybody else who signs up is going to be supporting like future investment into the next things that we can do as a community and expanding the website and all that stuff. But so I have thought about it, and because I know it's really easy. It'd be really easy to get like probably 20 to 30 subs on this channel through the IQ community. It'd be super easy for them to come in. They just hit the subscribe button, make some extra monthly income for the channel for sure. That's what I mean. But I'm not doing this because to grow this stream. This stream is not, the importance of this stream is these conversations. That's the real importance of this stream. So, and if people really want to support, they can go to the Patreon. But on my channel as a streamer, because that's the thing, is this stream isn't about me, the streamer. There isn't a streamer for this stream. I'm just the current host of this. There could be a different host in the future. The podcast is hosted by 4 people. I'm one of them. And the YouTube channel isn't meant to be exclusive to me either. It's meant for all of us. But people just have to make videos to put on the channel. Or make them and put them on their own channel, and we just put them on a playlist on the channel. Whatever we want to do. This is not a stream. in that sense that there's a streamer that you're supporting. This is a community. I'm just hosting it. So it's different. It's very, very different. When it's a streamer, that's a different relationship, right?
Yeah, I understand.
So I don't remember how we even got here now, but
I don't either, to be honest.
it was
There's been a few tangents.
yeah.
It's about like the culture of Twitch is what we're on essentially as a whole topic. Also, hey, Feckless.
He is mute. Oh,
I'm reading soup.
shoot.
Is it good soup?
Sure.
Oh, it was about the security blanket aspect of.
Just the comfort for a viewer.
Yeah, it's already very difficult to grow on Twitch as it is, and people come to your stream because it feels familiar, and when you are being super counterculture, you end up with this unfamiliar, it's uncomfortable feeling, and people are going to be sad. They're going to be like, "Oh, well, I wish I could sub to you. I really wish I could sub to you." Because that's their way. That's what they want to do. But you're like, no, I don't want to give Twitch money. And I get it.
I actually, I sat down with my own community when I was initially having this thought. My own, and we kind of came up to the decision together in the sense that, definitely, Twitch has the culture, Twitch has the, all the methods of sort of being a part of that culture and being a part of that community. But at the same time, we all kind of came to the conclusion that it's I'm very much beyond just what's on Twitch, and I want to be beyond just what's on Twitch. So it's okay.
That's true for everybody at this point. There's no you don't want to put everything you have into one space. And even all the top tier creators are doing multiple things, branching out. That's a very normal thing to do. You do want to branch out. If you open a bakery based on one good muffin, that's not a long-term strategy. So, the days are gone. Of course, some people, very, very few, are going to become incredibly rich and successful in the short term. But expecting that as a normal content strategy for any creator that's not going to work. I mean, who does that in any field? The people working on retro emulation projects, they don't just work on one thing. You finish a project typically and you move to a new project.
Well, there are emulation people who've been working on an emulator for 10 plus years.
Yeah, that's true, but it may be their side project more than their main project. Unless you even the OBS devs, they're not just trying to complete it; they're trying to expand it. Right.
Yeah.
Expansion is an important concept, but you don't want to expand too early either. You don't want to do too much at the beginning. It is better to focus fire.
I think my focus fire will be YouTube, probably, for now.
It's a great place to do it. It's an obvious way to grow, unless you're making League of Legends videos.
Why League of Legends specifically?
Because just go on YouTube and type the word League of Legends in and see how many.
I mean, I could make some
popular game.
Some fire arcane stuff though.
Yeah, if you make a review of the Arcane series, that's different. That's now a niche.
If you made it last week, yeah it probably would have popped off.
Yeah, if you can make it first. Yep. But if you just say how to mid lane, how many videos come up?
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. YouTube is not a one-off thing. You got to have videos prepared for the next thing you're going to do, the next source of content.
Absolutely.
It's easier if it all kind of congeals together too. Sometimes you can attack YouTube as a holistic space where you just keep covering a similar topic for long enough, and then it pops off, and now you've got all this content that's relative to what popped off. And so that's one strategy. and it can work when it works, but it's not. It's much easier to try to make sure that you get your videos in recommended. So, but focusing on YouTube is fine. I think that's a good content strategy because it is easy to figure out. You know, if especially if you're quick, if you can be quick, like you have some favorite content creators, and there's not a lot of people making the videos that they make, and you could do follow up content or similar content to what they're doing, like right after they do. You know your video is going to be in their suggested, and if their videos typically get 300,000 views and over the course of a week, and you get your video out the next day or the day after, you'll be in the suggested, so you could probably get a good
like a 10%, like a 30,000.
that would be pretty high, but you
Or
get
a
1,000 views or
three.
a couple thousand views isn't nothing when you're starting out and you're nobody.
Definitely not nothing. Yeah.
So I did this with the Doom Resurrection 32X. So there was a mod patched ROM that came out for the Sega 32X, and I have the equipment to be able to like slap it on my actual hardware and throw a video together super quickly. So I took like 20 minutes and made a YouTube video, and that video popped off to over 1.5, so 1,500 views, something like that right now. I don't know where it's at, but really quickly, like within a couple of days, it was very over 1,000 views, just because no one else was making those videos. Now there's a few other people that made those videos that are larger in the space, but that's good for me too because I'm in their recommended, right. So finding spaces like that where you can move into is really kind of the key for YouTube, and this is true for Twitch too. It's like almost the same strategy that the founders of IQ were talking about back when Jared was starting, is finding a space where you can be found, where playing the game. There is a game on Twitch. There are viewers looking for streams on Twitch. You just have to understand where you have a chance to be seen, and top 10 on certain game categories is where it's at. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Darkest Dungeon when Jared's not streaming it, sometimes the top streamer has like 30 viewers. Like, it doesn't seem like it's a place where you can grow. And yet, it is. So, doing proper research plays actually a massive role in your success. I think a lot of people just want to like focus on being live or making the content and then expecting people to show up. It doesn't work that way. You can have the best music in the world and be the best band, but if you don't go play shows in the right place and you're only playing like bars nobody shows up at, nobody's ever going to find you, right?
Yep.
It's all about monetizing and content strategy and execution and discoverability. It all plays one giant role together. So yeah. I think if you're not willing to take a partner contract, you should probably just not be on Twitch, dude. I mean, not that I want to see you leave. I'd rather you stay on Twitch and make it viable.
It's more like I'll be on Twitch as like, come watch me stream here. You don't have to be like, I wouldn't be looking for new. It's basically like when people go live on Instagram or something. It's just the people who follow them see them.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of a shame because I feel like you're giving up on Twitch as a platform when you probably shouldn't. But I get it. I understand why you're making that
I think I've like fallen out of love essentially.
I know you've lost faith in what the platform offers, and you don't think that the company deserves the support. And
I hope Altair kicks off. I hope YouTube kicks up its game.
Happen.
Like I hope
even YouTube's not going to compete with Twitch.
I hope like maybe I wouldn't consider Facebook ever though. So,
no,
yeah,
Facebook's already
I would never consider Facebook.
Facebook's a good example of what it's like to pour money into a bucket of fire just to keep the fire going.
It's really big in India though. It's like it's the place to be
for gaming.
For Indian, yeah, for gaming.
Really?
Yeah, like because like Southeast Asia is huge on Facebook as it is. So like for India and that region and Malaysia, like Facebook gaming is actually bigger than probably Twitch gaming.
That's so interesting. I wonder why they like such bad interfaces.
It's because like they've. I think it's just
So
because
ugly.
they use Facebook, so they use it for everything. It's India and like like in basically in turn Pakistan, and I'm from Pakistan, so
That's so interesting. So,
There's less
Facebook.
of a stigma in Southeast Asia of not being anonymous. So
True.
that's
oh,
the
there's
hard.
way more of a stigma. That's definitely not true. It's just that Facebook is like so entrenched in that culture, essentially. It's like everyone's on Facebook, so they're using it for everything.
Yeah, and to be on Facebook, you have to use your real name,
Yes,
right?
true.
So then you're not anonymous. That was
Yeah,
my whole point.
yeah.
Like in America, we're just
But like the stigma is still there. Like people still know that, like the whole like you don't use your real name on the internet and all that stuff. Like that has always been there because Southeast Asia is a lot more sort of like superstitious wouldn't be the right word for it, but like careful in that regard. But at the same time, yeah, they're just not aware that they're sharing so much information. It's more the awareness, I think.
I don't know. I'm not an expert on any of this. I don't know anything.
Like being, I'm just saying, like, being someone who's from there is like the most like like everyone who I know who uses Facebook is probably not aware of how much they're giving to Facebook. So
I
it's
don't know.
like it's more ignorance, is what it feels like.
If Facebook's whole survival of their platform is based on that's kind of sad, because then just the education of the people will immediately kill their platform. So that's pretty risky. Yeah. I mean, I haven't yet to see a Facebook streamer do anything other than basically maintain what they had on Twitch if they moved, and very little growth.
For US based Facebook streamers,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. I've never seen somebody go from it doesn't matter where they're from. I've just never seen it. I've never seen
There are like I mean mobile game streamers and PUBG streamers and all that stuff, like Southeast Asians essentially. That's like, and the only reason I'm aware of that is because I'm from there, but I'm sure there's like other countries that are like that too.
yeah, but I don't meet a lot of people on any social platforms that are not basically in the western part of the world.
That's true too. The internet is America dominated, which is, I mean, sadly, because it
Yeah.
should be more globalized. But that, like, it's just general. Like, you don't see the people that are like beyond the boundaries that you're in.
Yeah, it's very strange. Like, I looked for Korean streamers a couple weeks ago, like some earlier last month, and I was very surprised at how little Korean Twitch
But I
there
also like
are. There are more than
Ninja.
there's
When
more than I
Ninja
thought.
left,
But
sorry, I was like responding to someone in chat. As like per mustache, like when Ninja went to Mixer, like I think Ninja truly did want Mixer to succeed. Ninja wasn't just
course.
like the person who was just taking the money and just like running out his hours on Mixer. I think Ninja believed in the Microsoft and the Mixer ideology. It just didn't work out.
well, we're starting to get to a point where the more streamers have been offered to leave the platform, and
Mixer was not awful though. Like Mixer had a lot of amazing features that even Twitch didn't have at the time. Mixer had low latency video before Twitch.
this
Mixer
is
had like a point system before Twitch.
this is why
case in point of why a better platform does not make a better user experience.
correct.
It's the users. So it's like
Not
us
just the
that are
users.
defining.
It's the culture.
But we define the culture.
No, we
We can
don't
go
define the
create this.
culture. I didn't
We do
invent.
define the culture.
No, we
We're
don't.
just
No,
we're
no.
choosing to take part in the culture
What
users
part of
have
the Twitch
created.
culture have you defined?
I
Honestly,
mean, we as a collective have different. Like
the
us
collective
choosing
is
to,
not a person. There is no
choosing to
we.
use LUL is just us. It's not Twitch. Like
The culture is like an amorphous thing that just comes out of
it
the
comes out
community.
through people and through voices.
The culture is something that we don't influence. It just happens.
It doesn't just happen.
No, it kind of does just happen on its own.
I mean, if culture just happened, like, I mean, don't no reason to get political, but things would just happen. Change happens because people raise their voices.
No. What I mean is that the culture on Twitch exists
But but it's
outside of individuals.
culture in humanity is defined that way because humans are vocal and they define the culture. So it's like Twitch doesn't exist outside of the boundaries of humanity.
Right, but what I mean is the infrastructure of Mixer and the creation of a better version of Twitch. Everything was the panels were better, the interface was better, the discoverability was better. That didn't allow for the culture to exist properly because this stuff is not the culture.
That is yes, truly, that is definitely not the culture.
So
But if everybody, when Ninja left, if literally everyone went to Mixer, like, then the culture would have existed. Like the culture we have now would have just been existing on Mixer. Like it's not Twitch.tv that's the reason why that culture exists. It's us.
I don't think so. I think it's more tied in together than what you're giving it credit for. There's the people didn't go to Mixer because of the they didn't avoid it because they couldn't execute their culture there. It's that it's like the security blanket thing. Like people are already comfortable here on Twitch.
Yeah,
You
you're
don't need
used
to
to
go
Twitch.
anyone need to
But
go
like
anywhere else.
people were used to so many things in human history. Like that doesn't mean you don't change things.
Well, but the proper amount of change is not going to come by another platform. That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah,
the
I
whole
agree.
point. And
Absolutely. And in the Mixer case, I truly agree. Yes.
if you want to change the culture of Twitch, you're not going to do it from outside of Twitch. That's the point. That's why I think not being an affiliate as a streamer hurts you more than it helps you.
But even as like top level partner, you're still not going to be able to change the culture of Twitch because for that you'll need to like, essentially be able to communicate with everyone. And right now, we as creators are able to communicate with creators and viewers, but we're not able to communicate with, how it's run.
Well, the top level
What
creators do
goes
have more
in.
influence than it's how they use it that's questionable. Like these Twitch metas arise because the top level influencers are playing into them. Hot tub meta
Mm-hmm.
worked because the top level influencers were doing the hot tub meta.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they do define the culture to a degree. Right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I have more of a problem with that side of Twitch than I do the company of Twitch. Like Twitch's business practices bother me less than the top tier creators' business practices. I think they harm the industry more than Twitch does.
How are hot tub streams harming the industry though? Like,
How are they not?
how are they?
How do
are
they
they harming?
benefit? How does half naked people on a PG-13
It's just
platform
it's just like
benefit?
freaking porn in it. Like it's
The top tier creators do more to harm the overall image of streaming than Twitch has done to harm the overall
it
image of
harms
streaming.
the overall image of. I think hot tub streamers harm the overall image of Twitch of people thinking, oh, Twitch is the site where people
That's not
are in
Twitch.
hot
That's the
tubs.
streamers.
Hmm.
That's not
But
Twitch.
yeah, I said they harm the image of Twitch. If they were doing it on a site where there's hot tubs like everywhere, then it wouldn't matter. It's only because you care about Twitch's image that affects you.
Wait,
Um,
what?
I don't know about that. I feel like
What did you even just say? I'm so confused. What's
you
your
want to
point?
restate that. Yeah, help us understand.
Like, why do you? I'm just essentially asking, like, why do you care so much about hot tub streamers being on Twitch?
Because I
Is
don't.
it because
I want a
it makes
wider.
Twitch's image look bad, right?
No, it makes streaming look bad. I want streaming to be accepted in the world of expanding who watches streams and who interacts with them,
Mm-hmm.
and being more accepting and open to the content.
But it doesn't make streaming look bad on Facebook or on YouTube or on Instagram. It makes streaming look bad on Twitch.
That's because no one's doing that on Facebook, because you can't do that on Facebook.
Right.
You
Twitch is
can.
allowing them to do that.
So then that's on Twitch. Yeah. That's,
No, it's
that's
on the
but
creator.
that's-
It's 100%
No, I'm
on
agree.
the
Like
creator.
this next thing is me agreeing with you in the sense that like that's on Twitch and like that's on the streamers on Twitch defining the culture like that.
Twitch,
So yes, I agree there.
Twitch as a source for streaming needs to be, for streaming to be what it really needs to be, it would need to work on Twitch properly. And that means that the top tier creators have to set the example. Twitch is just going to follow. This is also new, right? This is what we were talking about before, like how new streaming is. It's
All of the top tier creators, I think, are creators that are still running on that sort of old model of just grinding out the hours being live. There's a handful that aren't.
No,
but
they're just
majority
trying to
are.
do anything they can to be immediately successful because they all believe it's going to stop at some point. So rather than reinvesting, there's a few streamers that do
So they don't do much to change things like this.
exactly. They're just trying.
also
They're
they've
trying to
been
make
here
as much money as possible,
long.
as quickly as possible, in order to when this all. They see it as a house of cards that will eventually fail. Not all of them. So there's two different approaches. There's a few bigger streamers that see Twitch as an opportunity, streaming as an opportunity and a future, and they're investing in it, starting programs and academies and different things to try and bolster what streaming is and influence streaming in a positive direction. And then you've got streamers who are just all about the cash grab and right now. Damn the consequences. This is not going to last forever. I'm just going to get my money and get out. I'm going to do hot tub, gambling, whatever it is. I'm going to do the thing that makes me rich because this is not going to last. And that's the attitude that's actually harming the long-term longevity and growth of what making streaming a viable thing in the world, because it's just like, it's the gold rush, and who cares about the environment? That's streamers are harming streaming more than Twitch is, in my opinion. If all these streamers were to, instead of having that attitude, took the approach of I'm going to reinvest. I'm going to take money and I'm going to invest in making streaming more viable, more standardized, more well-known, then streaming could take off so much faster. But instead, they're
Also,
just...
I do think, sorry to go back to this point. I do think if you don't view sex as a bad thing, like hot tub streaming is actually a bad thing. Like, it's just people having fun in a tub. Like, it's the same as me having fun in Stardew Valley. Like,
Well, I mean, I think you can
you're
think...
there to watch that.
I think you can have two viewpoints at the same time, which is sex is a good thing and people shouldn't be naked on a PG-13 website.
Okay, yeah, there should. Okay,
They-
yeah.
they
If
can be
if
like-
we're talking legally, and then yeah, like all that stuff is like PG-13. Then yeah, you would age gate it more.
Yeah, I think it's inappropriate to do hot tub sexualized
Yeah.
content on
On a site
in
where
in
you're
middle
expecting
school.
13-year-olds.
I think middle schoolers shouldn't be purposefully shoved into their face sexualized content. So
That's also a very American way of doing it, though. But sadly, Twitch is an American company.
yeah.
Because like America views sex as very, very bad. But like if you look further east, it's like sex is a normal thing. It gets very bad once again if you go way too east, but like just like the European area and the middle area, like sex is fine. It's the guns that are bad. I don't want to get political.
It's not even just the hot tub streaming though. What the problem is that the top tier creators jump on any bandwagon to give themselves whatever
But
edge
you wouldn't
they
have the
possibly
same.
can.
You wouldn't have the same idea about Among Us, though.
What do you mean?
Would you? Do you think Among Us also hurt streaming as hot tubs hurt streaming?
No, because there's nothing really wrong with Among Us, right?
So it's like the inherent, sexualization of hot tub streaming is what you think is
In the
hurting
context
streaming.
of Twitch as a platform for 13-year-olds.
Where a 13-year-old might be
Yes.
and might get exposed to sexualized content.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
There's Among Us
But,
is I don't
like if you were in a society where it was like, it's like really bad to talk about murder, it's really bad to just be a murderer, then Among Us would be the most terrible thing. Like that's where I'm coming from.
I mean, it's obviously not real people. It's like cartoon characters. And Clue is not much different, right? So, I don't know. I don't know. There isn't really a culture that has a ban on murder, right?
I mean, every culture technically does.
I mean, in
But,
media
like,
and exposure to
depiction of
the idea.
murder.
Yeah.
But like, let's say, okay, how about like Pokemon? Like, there's cultures that believe that evolution is inherently not a great thing, and they don't believe in it, and so then they would be like inherently against Pokemon, and so then Pokemon streamers would come under fire for streaming Pokemon.
Is that true?
In that society? Yeah,
Is that true? There's cultures that don't believe in evolution.
yeah.
Can
They're
you name
religious
one?
cultures, but they are cultures.
I can't think of one. Yeah.
I mean, religion and religious people in general are like very much against evolution. Like that's the
not
creationism
always.
versus- It's like the creationism versus evolution kind of that idea, that debate.
Bro,
That-
it's a video game. Like we're not talking about real
Yeah,
life.
but people are like that.
Are hot tub streamers streaming in a video
Yeah,
game?
no, I get your point. I'm trying to elaborate a different point. I completely agree and understand your point about that. I've said that.
But you're bringing this up as like a counterpoint.
I'm
I don't know for what purpose.
I'm not trying to argue. I'm trying to have discussions and contribute to the discussion.
That's the same thing,
Everything
but-
everything I say can be tangentially a new conversation. I'm never here to argue. I'm sorry if it comes off as arguing.
Well, when
So
you
I'm
start
sorry-
when you
so
start
I'm
the
sorry if
conversation,
I'm
can you
invalidating
stop?
your
Can you
point.
stop and just let me
Okay.
talk, please? 'Cause
Okay.
You
Yeah.
really
okay.
like talking over people. So listen, like when you start the conversation with "but what about," that sure sounds like a counterpoint.
Fair enough.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No,
'Cause that's how
you're
this
completely right.
started, right?
You're
Was-
completely right. I just don't want to have a fight. I'm sorry.
We're not fighting. We're having
Yeah.
a discussion. This is what
Mhm.
discussion sounds like. No
It's
one's killing each other. No one's punching
Yeah.
each other, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
No one's jumping.
Well, we
in a
also
hot
want to
tub.
make sure. I think Feckless just want to make sure he's understanding you right, because it did kind of
Yeah.
sound like you were making a counterpoint.
The primary,
Mhm.
well, the first thing I'd ask is, well, I would just like change the subject because I don't see how
let's
this
just change the
conversation is
subject. Yeah,
productive
this is
at all.
going. This is going.
No, my
completely
point
different
was already
places.
made. I was just saying I think
Yeah,
streamers
I-
are doing more
Well,
harm.
it's real easy to say like, oh, Mixer was better. Everybody should have just gone to Mixer, and if everybody just went to Mixer, then everything would be better. But like, Betamax was better than VHS.
Yeah.
They
True.
lost because VHS was cheaper.
But Blu-ray was
Um,
better than HD DVD. Okay, so
Well, I mean,
That one-
that's even debatable. I mean, they're almost equal. Like they're basically the same.
at this
but
point, it shows that it was better.
There's all sorts of reasons why why one thing can win, and at this point, the main reason people didn't move to Mixer is because as soon as you say, hey, you should check out this website Mixer, someone would say, why?
Yeah.
The image is better. Okay. The weather's better. The weather's better in San Diego, but my friends live here, so why would I go
Yeah,
there?
so if all your friends were in Mixer, you'd be in Mixer. That's the thing.
Yes. So everyone should just stop what they're doing and go do something else. That's the kind of like, it's real easy to sit back and say like that's the solution, but actually accomplishing that is pretty much impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm okay leaving my affiliate and doing whatever I want. Like I'm not forcing anyone else to do it. I'm just doing it.
Well, just as a conversational piece, I think it's good for people to understand.
Well, I missed like half of that conversation, so I'm not 100%.
like that's where this all like where we are right now is where that started. Like that's
Well,
where that
Oh,
started.
wait,
I was
did you Did you come in here with the question of should I get rid of my?
No, he
affiliate
already
contract
did.
or not?
We were just talking
it's
about.
already done. We're just discussing it.
Yeah, we were
okay.
discussing maybe the negative impacts of making that kind of decision because you're kind of going against the grain of what Twitch is as a culture, and so new viewers, old viewers will feel a little out of place in your stream because they can't sub and they don't have emotes and you're not really taking part in the greater Twitch culture. So I think there's some blowback to making the decision. There's more value in the Twitch affiliate program that is just the monthly income it creates. There's I was just trying to make sure people kind of think about it a little bit more deeply as a decision.
So, my dad's not an affiliate.
Correct.
I'm his only mod. Do you know how many DMs I get every single stream of people asking why he's not an affiliate?
5 to 20.
Do you know how many messages he gets every stream of asking why he's not an affiliate?
Yeah.
So
every time he's live.
Be prepared to have that conversation over and over and over.
Sure. If it's somebody who's invested so much that they're like messaging me, I'm humbled. It's like
I mean in chat, like people will definitely ask. Like that's
I'll tell them.
They're gonna want to know,
fine.
and you if you're going to be,
and they might.
So what's
they
your
might
what's
actually
your
have a.
Well, let's say I'm
up?
in your chat right now and I ask you that question. How do you answer? How do you reply? Why aren't you an affiliate?
I'm not simply a creator on Twitch, so I don't feel like I need to be an affiliate on Twitch.
A lot of people are affiliates on Twitch that are also creators on other platforms. So why?
That's fair.
Why
I
is that
don't
the
agree
reason?
I don't agree with the way the
being a
infrastructure of Twitch is run.
I'm being a chatter here, so
Yeah, I know, and I'm answering you like I would answer you on stream.
You don't agree with what?
I don't agree with the infrastructure of how Twitch is run, and I don't want to contribute to it.
Then why are you streaming on their platform?
I'm currently might be multi-streaming at that point as well. Like,
right? Why
know.
stream to Twitch at all?
That's fair. You have a good point. So yeah, maybe I should just go to YouTube.
Well, if your goal
like
is
me and Sunny were actually having this discussion.
if your goal is a protest, then you should just not stream on Twitch, right? If that's your primary motivating factor, right? Well, because I mean, I heard before you were talking about, because I know if you're in Turkey, good luck, because PayPal lost their license there like 5 years ago.
PayPal kind of left. They didn't lose their license.
No,
they were asked to like basically pay taxes. And
they didn't.
Fuck that.
They didn't want to jump through the hoops and they did the math and said this is not worth it. So I don't blame them, but
I don't blame them either. I mean,
so since you don't have PayPal, like you're very limited, I guess, then in your options for like how people can support you. So basically, the main argument for why you would stay an affiliate on Twitch would be, well, income, because that's one way
yeah, but
you can
me and
get
Sunny
money, right?
both like kind of agreed on that. It's like I'm okay not having that.
I actually would. My argument was that the income is not what's important; it's the relationship between the
then we got
the
to that
culture
topic.
of Twitch and you, the streamer. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you don't want to have, if you don't care that you don't have emotes, then and you don't care about money, then I don't see why you would be an affiliate.
I do.
Those are
I
the
think
two motivational factors.
I think because people want to connect with the stream in that way. It's a part. It's a part of the culture, and I feel like you're like keeping people out of your room rather than allowing them to come in when you're not an affiliate.
Right, but that's his prerogative as a streamer, right? If that's his outlook, then it makes sense that he would, do that. Now if basically you would have to make an evaluation, what's more important? My dedication to this framing might be a little weighted, but what's more important? My upholding this whole thing of I really don't want Twitch to get money because I disagree with the way they run their platform, or my community's desire to support me monetarily and also receive emote benefits and get channel points and stuff.
So that's I would
community.
Yeah, I would weigh that the
I think
viewer
that
relationship is way more important.
The community would still be able to, like, monetarily support you through other ways. It's like the on Twitch rewards. That
Yeah,
would
but
be
I gotta
pretty
click
good.
an extra button, and that's just a no-go for most
Yeah,
people.
I know.
That's
I know.
just
A lot of
fact.
people would. Yeah, a lot of people would. That would be a no go for them, and that's okay.
It's not just that.
They're
There's
not.
like the community.
Yeah, and if
itself.
if it's okay with you, then sure. I would say for 99% of people that's not the case though. So I would say
Yeah.
you are a fringe case in this.
I agree. Like, I'm okay if you don't feel like giving me money. I'm okay if like
Right.
clicking an extra button is too much for you. It's fine. You can just come be here, enjoy the stream, or not enjoy it and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly I just feel like there's a deeper value to the affiliate program than the money itself, and it's the community aspect of being
And
the-
you're making solid points there. That is true, and that's what's making me question if I like truly really even want to be on Twitch as a whole.
Well, what's your goal with entertainment?
My goal is to like make cool shit and have people see it. It's like any idea I have, I
Okay.
want to create it.
What kind of cool shit? What do you make?
So
What do you do?
like I fuck around with video games. I fuck around IRL. I'll get like deeply invested into a project. I'll pick up I picked up a soldering iron recently because I wanted to restore consoles. I might get like totally crazy about that.
yay, that's
I
my
just,
world.
I just want to learn and create, and have people see what I'm learning and creating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't need Twitch for any of that.
Well, I mean, actually, I think live streaming
If there's
a pretty good avenue for that.
Like if there's a live
True.
aspect to it, like people can see me live doing it, and then they also get to see it like in video on demand format.
If you're
And, like,
learning,
that's essentially
if you're learning a new skill, I think Twitch is actually a great place to stream that.
absolutely like Twitch is still the primary like live stream platform though. That's where it comes in too.
Yeah,
It's
of
like,
course.
yes. So
I'm just trying
more
to
people
see.
get to see it.
I'm just trying to see if your goals revolve around like something that lends itself naturally to live streaming. Well, then it makes the decision a little more difficult, right? Like whether or not to abstain from Twitch entirely. So because you got 10, if you got like 10 viewers, you can get found in just chatting or the makers and crafting section, right? If you got like a handful of people in your small community and you switch to YouTube, because if you have 10 viewers on Twitch, you're gonna have less viewers on YouTube. So let's say you have 5
Absolutely.
viewers. Let's say you have 5 viewers on YouTube. You're not gonna get found anywhere on that website live streaming.
Absolutely.
Unless they see one of your videos, click the subscribe button and are notified that you went live. So they happen to be using YouTube while you went live, not
Yeah.
when you're live.
Yeah,
just while
the
you went live.
discoverability on YouTube is definitely not. So that's the thing.
Yeah, well,
so-
and also if you want to talk about a platform that's notorious for not treating their creators well, YouTube is way worse than Twitch.
Yes.
If you
Way
wanna talk
worse.
about, like,
YouTube
like
still very
abuse?
much fights for the rights for its creators to do things though.
Sure, but they also did a lot of really, 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 really bad stuff over the years. They're
Yeah,
constantly
and so they've had the time to age and go through that shit and learn. Twitch still hasn't. So Twitch is still so we did have this conversation too, where Twitch is young and needs to make those mistakes before it gets somewhere. So we're slowly kind of riding it through, I guess.
I don't see how Twitch could change their algorithm overnight and lose their
No, they're
creators,
definitely not
millions of
gonna
dollars
change.
as a
No,
result. And
what do
YouTube
you
actually
mean?
did that several times.
Yeah. And it's gonna happen again.
Of course.
Yeah. That's not done.
Because right now the game is all about watch time and the longer video and long form videos. So who knows how long that's going to be the case? Because before that, like a while back, shorter videos were ideal. 4 minutes was like the maximum you ever wanted to try and keep someone's attention, and it was all about just referring people to other videos or using annotations to just get raw view count, right? But now it's all about watch time, and they change the way things work so frequently, and they do it without telling anybody. And they do it sometimes in like they roll it out in like Twitch does things like this as well, but it doesn't have nearly the disparate
That's like
impact.
software development. If you're saying like they roll it out, they're like some people have it and some people don't. That's just like how software development usually is.
Correct.
I'm just worried that
I'm just saying the effect is confusion on communities.
yeah, and I think I just don't. If you're gonna boycott Twitch,
On principle.
then you can't really go anywhere because they all suck.
Correct. Yes.
So-
it's
Let me slowly
giant
start
douche
hating.
versus turd sandwich, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's
Let me
why I'm saying.
slowly start hating everything and then just quit the internet.
Yeah, I don't think that's a healthy way to go about this. I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice by avoiding Twitch and starting with the affiliate contract. It's a slippery slope. You're just going to end up not making anything because everyone's...
If I get to a point where I hate everything, I'll probably stop making.
But there's a
stuff.
reason to hate everything right now. That's kind of
Right.
the point.
I mean, you might also just want to go the introspection route and ask yourself why you're this cynical to the point where it's like affecting your, career decisions. Or I don't know if this is like something you want to make your career, but like that's just I don't know. I feel like the level of cynicism and like black pilled this conversation has been the entire time is it's not good, like generally speaking.
Yeah, I would say...
I think we should end it here. I should leave probably soon.
No, I'm saying I would encourage you to think this line of thinking through that leads you to like, I don't know, because you're gonna have this problem again with like another company. The more you look into some of these platforms and the people behind them, you can find something wrong with everything.
I would definitely want to get to a point where I can just have a website. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I think
Well,
that's the direction a lot of people are going. Is just
that's true.
self-published.
I think you
for
should...
instance,
Look. All I'm gonna say is you should take your time and think these platforms are a place for you to have a voice to execute growth and change over time. So I think it's actually okay to disagree with what's happening on with all these companies and still utilize them.
Yeah, I agree.
And
That's why I would be utilizing Twitch still, just not fully.
I get that, but I think you could find a way to still be an affiliate and use it to have these relevant connections with your community. And
don't get me wrong. Like I don't think you should not stream on Twitch. Like objectively.
Yeah.
But I think if your outlook and your approach to it and the reason you canceled your affiliate contract is like the reason that we got to, which is you don't agree with the way they run their platform, a better protest would be not being on the website at all, right? Like
right,
that,
but then
that
you're
would be
just
the more
a slippery slope.
consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the more consistent position, I guess I would say. So, I mean, unless your goal
It's also because I love the people on here, so
right. Well, that's why we all suffer through the downsides of things on any platform, right?
Yeah.
Like there's always some bad with the good, right? Like you can find bad stuff about just about any company, and when we sort of accept a certain level of bad, because if you just can't live as a consistent human in this world.
Yeah.
You can't buy anything if you really want to live super consistently with like ethical practice and stuff like that, because just about every company has at least something that you would probably disagree with, unless it's like your company, right? But I mean, if you're not if the only reason I would think that, I mean, unless your goal was to be like, yeah, I'm gonna keep streaming on Twitch because I'm using their bandwidth and they're not getting any money off of me. So
I've said that on my stream before.
I'm sticking it to the man or whatever, and it's like, oh, I mean, they don't care. And they are still technically making money off you because you still get ads, and yeah, so
yeah, they're making money off you and you're not making anything now. So
correct.
You're not taking any money from them.
Yeah, accepting Twitch Primes would actually be just as much of a protest in that situation.
Yeah.
Because that
No, because people pay Amazon for Twitch Prime. Like, they've already made that money by the time you get the free sub.
Right, but the people that use Twitch, nobody buys Amazon Prime for Twitch Prime.
Yeah,
Literally
that's true.
No one. So they have it already. They're gonna have it regardless of
But
whether
you have
Twitch exists.
It's more of a
Paid
loss.
Amazon the money already to
But
have
it's
it.
still more of a loss to Amazon because they don't have to give it out for free.
Correct. Every single time you let that Twitch Prime sit, like all these oh man, all these sad Amazon Prime users that don't use their Twitch Prime every month.
Yeah.
They're basically see, you need to encourage them all to use their Twitch Prime so
Right.
Amazon makes less money.
Right.
Does Twitch
That's
actually
what we
lose
should
money
be
on
doing.
Prime?
Yeah, absolutely. No,
That's cool.
no, but it offsets the cost of Prime significantly. So if you're a Twitch streamer and you're thinking about, I'm not selling Amazon Prime, but if you're a Twitch viewer and you're thinking about getting Amazon Prime, it basically makes the cost like half.
Yeah.
Because you're quote unquote saving $60 a year. It's $60 a year that you're not spending on one sub. So it offsets
Right.
the yearly cost by about half. I think it's $120 right now for Prime. I don't actually remember. Things that are charged yearly, I very frequently forget about, and they actually that's the reason a lot of these companies like to charge annually, or small monthly fees that you don't notice. They just slip in, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. And I think if that's something you want to do, that can be beneficial. But I think maybe as long as you don't get too preachy about it, right? Because that might turn people off.
I'm not preachy. I think this
Right.
stream is just this stream's the most preachy I've been, honestly, about this.
Well,
Right. Well,
because
and
we
this
talked about
is,
it.
and this is like my only this is like my
Interaction.
only. Yeah, I don't know you at all, so I immediately thought, I was just like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? So yeah, I'm just saying,
It's like I treat it as like a personal choice. That's
of course.
it.
My perspective is I just want to encourage you to go the opposite direction instead of running away from this stuff. You want to dive deeper in so that you can become the voice of reason.
Like break
as
it
you-
down from
as
the
you-
inside.
Yes, as you climb the evil tower, you can defeat. It's going to be much harder to defeat and change the enemy from outside the tower. It's easier to go in, and
It's much more effective. Everyone ignores the crazy people yelling outside of a building.
yeah,
It's the people that work for the company that are speaking out.
Yeah.
Those are the ones we listen to.
Yeah.
Right? Look at Blizzard, right? Like all of the allegations. The reason people took them seriously is because they came from
Employees.
inside the company. Right?
Exactly.
They're employee complaints. If some guy on the outside was like Blizzard bad, like you're not gonna listen to that guy.
yeah,
Right?
that's what I'm. That's also part of this. Is I feel like you should consider going the opposite direction and diving in.
I would say that the very slight hypocrisy of streaming on the website is overshadowed
It overshadows it. Yeah.
by the benefit of you being somebody on the platform talking about how it needs to improve. And absolutely, streamers have like directly caused Twitch to change some of their policies. Like that's a fact, of course.
I'd rather you see you become successful and then have the right platform to voice these situations than to have you just protest and it keep you from.
I'm not publicly protesting though. That's the thing. It's just like my personal, like it's the same thing as like I'm choosing not to drink milk. That doesn't mean you don't have to. Like,
Yeah, but it's going to be obvious because you don't have a sub button, and people are going to ask you. So it's not something you can avoid.
That's I mean
at that
Well, if
point I
it's-
tell them when they.
yeah,
ask,
but
I
I mean
tell
if
them, like,
No, it's public.
if that's one
and
of
if I
your
grow to a level where it's like, okay, I have enough of a platform where I'm like, yeah, this was the reason why. If y'all really want to know,
Sure.
And so you
And-
guys should,
and if that's something that you're, I guess I would say, passionate about, if it's something that you want to actually like have these sorts of conversations, then actually not being an affiliate might be to an advantage for you because it will cause that conversation to come up more frequently.
True.
It might actually have the opposite, like you might actually, it might be the opposite of what we're thinking in terms of like, I don't know, I think that I'd be very hard pressed to find a community that grew faster without being an affiliate than a community that grew.
I mean, anyone
being
who
an
came to
affiliate-
Twitch who wasn't just a Twitch streamer would have
What?
like a YouTuber coming to Twitch would have.
If they're big enough, they just get partner contracts. They
Yeah.
don't even have to.
They just
apply.
skip it.
Yeah, they skip the line. But
So
but
they
no.
would have like
wait, what? I'm confused. What are you saying?
like they would have grown to that point without being an affiliate because they came from outside. Like,
Right,
that's-
they're bringing users in, and they're certainly not
Mhm.
bringing all of them. They're bringing a very
Mhm.
small percentage of them to another platform because it's very difficult to translate from one platform to another.
Mhm.
Um,
But
so-
it's also like when Dream goes live, Dream's like the number one person on Twitch.
yeah, of course, because he plays
And-
Minecraft,
And
and
there will
lots
be
of kids.
people.
Yeah, of
There will
course.
be people that will just open up Twitch, watch stream, close Twitch.
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a handful of people that have that kind of pull, but then you have to ask yourself, well, why is he streaming on Twitch?
Because it's the live streaming platform.
Right, but he's a YouTuber, and he could
Mhm.
pull just as high numbers on YouTube. Why doesn't he stream on YouTube? He's certainly not trying to get more YouTube viewers, right?
That is a good question. I wonder.
Oh, the answer.
Well, I know. Well, I know the answer. Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
I think the answer is pretty obvious, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
I mean, there's a few answers I can think of. That's the thing. Like, is it the money? Is it the
Yes.
oh, it's
you
absolutely
know?
a lot of it is the money, but most of it is it's brand building. It's cross pollination. It's
and community. Saturating
yeah.
yourself in multiple communities is
right, and
super
you might
important.
find some people on Twitch that had never seen your YouTube, and they might.
You
move over to
definitely
YouTube.
will.
And you can have the same opposite way. It's probably the interesting thing is it's probably less beneficial for a big YouTuber to stream on Twitch than for a big Twitch streamer to start a YouTube channel, right?
Yes.
Like it's weighted in the opposite direction. And also, yeah, most streamers make way more money on YouTube if they're over a certain size. Most streamers make way more money on YouTube than
Yeah.
they do on Twitch. Upwards of like 10x.
Yeah.
Especially like mid-level Twitch streamers
On the upper
if you get
end,
a lot of views.
but on the
Yeah,
lower end, a smaller creator will make more money on Twitch than
on
they
Twitch,
will on YouTube.
way more.
Way
Yes,
more.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you know,
So, but then again, I mean, this discussion we already said like this is not.
I
about
think
money,
it's like
right?
exhausted at this point. Yeah.
Well, but-
we're
and
just
it-
going in circles.
Well, if your primary goal, well, it's more like I'd look at it more like wrapping it up, right? Because we're
Yeah.
turning we're sort of putting a cap on the conversation and taking everything and going over all of
that's
it
fair.
again, and it's almost like a TLDR of the whole conversation, right? At the very end. So yeah,
Summarize and conclude.
yeah, and like if money's not the issue, well then, yeah. So I don't know. There's like I'd say there's two main reasons to be an affiliate. One is money and one is community. Well, I should say one is community and one is money because the community aspect is more
bigger.
important.
yeah, way more
and
important.
it's going to have more of an effect on your career as an entertainer. So yeah, because if you get people that are invested in you as a person, those people are going to be the ones that will follow you to another thing and support you in other endeavors that are off Twitch. But yeah, I actually think that if that's your main thing is like messing around with stuff you find or trying out new things, Twitch is actually a pretty good place for that in terms of discoverability.
I mean,
It's
I'll
just
find out
you need
in the course of a few
well
months.
you need a base. I don't know if you know me at all, but I pretty much only stream in just chatting. So I also had a built-in audience of people that know me from somewhere else. So if you can start with about, I would say 20 is better, but if you can start with like at least 10, if you have a community of at least 10 people, you can stream in the just chatting category. It might be better to specialize.
I mean, I spend a lot of time in just chatting too.
Right, that doesn't mean you should. I'm just saying like from an advice perspective. So like if you so let's say you're soldering, right? And if you're trying to make, I'm not saying you specifically, but like anybody, right? Let's say you're soldering stuff. Let's say you're making an emulator, right? Like let's say you're soldering together like a fake or an old DS or something like that, right? So there's three categories you could reasonably stream in. You could either stream in makers and crafting, you could stream in retro, or you could stream in just chatting. So the question of like which one do I pick?
As well.
What's that?
Science and tech.
Yeah, nobody streams in that category.
Yeah.
There are people featured in there. There's.
Okay, let me reiterate. No one browses that category. So,
I beg to differ because I do.
yeah, but you're in the industry, right?
That's
I'm
fair.
assuming.
But like I know so many people that have grown there, because I'm like I tried to look for programmers and like other tech people on and on Twitter, so Twitch. Fuck, what's happening to me?
I take it back. Finally, someone's cussing more than me. I take it.
I'm just sleepy. It's late here.
I'm usually the one that makes Sonny have to like mess with the VODs and
I'm
stuff.
sorry, Sunny.
Actually,
no,
I
it's
take
fine.
actually I take it back. It looks like science and technology and makers and crafting are about equal in terms of like.
Yeah, they are.
Science
I
and
know people that have
technology
grown through
wasn't
it.
good until this year, I think. So it's
It
fair.
definitely
It's fair.
this year has taken it up. Also, they created like software and game development specifically for the people that were
Who
coding.
streams in science and tech? Big streamers.
I think
it's
soldering.
a lot of, like
I see Dead Mouse.
I think soldering would do well in science and tech because most people are doing programming or like it's.
I feel like it's more of a makers and crafting thing. But
I-
it's not
It
like
could be
it's-
both. It
you-
depends on the project you're doing. I
If
guess.
you were
and the
looking
type
for,
of tools
if you were
want.
looking,
I would
well,
do it
I
in
don't
retro.
know.
Depending on what it is, I would probably do it in retro though.
Yeah,
Well, I
retro
don't-
might be a place for it too.
It depends on who you want to find you. Well, and also how
Yeah.
saturated the category is, because retro can be really difficult.
Oh,
to find.
really difficult, but it also can be a
Depends on the time
benefit
of the
because
day.
you're going to stand out as somebody doing
Yeah.
something that's not exactly the same thing as everyone
Well,
else.
you might also be less likely to be clicked on because you're somebody that's not playing a game.
That's
and
true.
the people looking in that category are looking for gameplay.
It
but-
depends on your strategy. Yeah.
The reason I would actually think that makers and crafting would be more interesting, just because there's probably less people soldering that would be in that category. So
True.
you would,
Yeah,
you would probably stand
There's
out more
like probably only a handful of streams doing any micro soldering on Twitch at all ever
Dude,
anyway.
past like 9 p.m. the makers and crafting section is literally just the glass blowing section. Like it's all people making bongs. Like that's it. And then later, I think past about 2 a.m. like on the West Coast, it's all European like guys with long hair making swords. Like all of it, like and armor and stuff.
But
Like, it's so weird how the time of the day, like the craft changes. Like sometimes it's
Yeah.
what is it, Anamonaguri or whatever, the crocheted little toys. Like there's a lot of people that do that. Like there's the sewing people. Like in the daytime, it's all like the sewing people.
The problem with
repairing a 1060 with a solder on like the top of science and tech.
yeah
Oh, really?
the problem with micro soldering though is I don't know if it would be so great to learn on stream.
It's also not probably super great to watch unless you have the setup. Like you would need
You really need a good setup
really-
for it. Yeah.
you would need a specific camera lens to be able to get in there and see
Actually,
what's going on.
I
right?
have some advice for that because I've figured out how to do it for me. But you don't need a very expensive camera, but you do need like a good mount for the camera you choose.
Yeah, you'd need it to be able to be positioned. Like and
I have a
moved very
microscope
quickly.
camera. Yeah.
Yeah,
but the
see, that
problem
would do it.
The problem is that's actually the easy part. The hard part is if you're learning how to solder, that's hard. It's gonna somebody who's good at soldering will get something done at like half an hour to an hour. If you're learning, it's gonna take you 2 to 3 hours, and you're
Which
gonna
is
make
fine for-
mistakes.
And
Which
if you're
is
streaming it on
not
Twitch, it's going to take
stream-
4 hours.
Yeah, it's gonna take even longer. Yeah, like I fixed Jared's PS4, and that took
I
me.
should have streamed it.
No. I'm glad I didn't, because first of all,
It's just been
I knocked.
cussing simulator.
No, I knocked off a cap that was important that I had to put back, and these things are tiny, like a crumb from a piece of bread or something is bigger
Yeah.
than these things.
But
They're
see, if
microscopic.
you rage in reaction, that's a good stream.
No, I was already nervous and anxious. And nobody's even watching. Forget that. I wouldn't even be able to deal with chat when I knock off a tiny capacitor that you need to make the whole thing function. So
Okay, maybe not for you, but
yeah.
for certain people, I think that would be highly entertaining,
yeah,
and I would
probably.
watch that.
But my goal was to fix Jared's
Audience
PS4, not to
everything.
be entertaining. So that-
True.
yeah.
Yeah, but why not do both?
I
I'm just-
I will with things that are
listen,
less volatile than my
I
friend's
just
PlayStation. 4.
listen. I just think people should stream everything.
Yeah, I know.
So
So
So hot tubs as well.
yeah, Micro soldering with jump scares is a bad idea too.
Dude, no, that's
Such
a great
no,
idea. That's a
it's
$1 million
dangerous.
idea.
So
There's people
dangerous.
who are famous for
Oh my
getting
God.
like
So dangerous.
electrocuted and burned.
Have you
just-
seen
Oh
Have
my
you
God.
seen Electro Boom? Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. No, all of that stuff is very well planned. Trust
Yeah,
me.
and it's also like you'd run into a Twitch TOS issue way faster than YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
With that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ty, please don't use that evil word.
No, I think you need a better strategy than just micro soldering too. So, like, for me, so anybody who wants to steal a good idea, because I don't know when I'm going to get to this, but
yeah, I was just using that as an example because he mentioned it specifically earlier.
you want to tie it in with your channel better. So what I'm planning on doing is upgrading, modding, and repairing like old consoles, and then giving them away.
Ooh, hell yeah!
But at certain tip level incentives, the giveaway will happen. That way I can cover the costs of the situation. Because I could take a PlayStation 1. I just bought I have like 3 PlayStation 1s I'm going to do this with already. I just bought another one off of Goodwill. It was $40 with shipping. All I have to do, the mod board for it's $100. I can do that solder job. Now, if I sold it on eBay, I could make $300 off the console. I'd make a good amount of money, like $160 in profit. So my hope is to, at minimum, try to cover the cost of what I'm doing and make that at least that much, and just do the giveaway with the community.
My head is spinning with ideas, but I'm gonna DM them to you instead of saying them live on the internet.
That's fine. And I would, because I would much rather mod these consoles, do the console mods that I'm comfortable with at least, and ship them out to somebody in my community and have it all funded by the community, and know that they're supporting the stream and people are getting things back. And then I'm going to stream retro gaming content, so it kind of all goes together properly. It's a bad idea, I think, to just randomly stream soldering and hope that.
So my thing was that like with that was like, I frame it as a video as like, I bought a $10 Nintendo Wii. Let's see if we can fix it or break it further. And that would be like my YouTube video, and the live section of that is just on Twitch while I'm learning to do it.
Well, that's more of like that's more than just soldering. That's repair too. You're gonna have to diagnose.
That's
harder.
Actually, like,
that's harder
whatever
than soldering.
project I come up with, whatever projects I end up coming up with is like that's gonna be the video, and then Twitch is just the live section.
Have you looked at the how well the people that are on the top end of YouTube that do this kind of? I watch a lot of the micro.
I watch a lot of them actually. I kind of got into this stuff because I was watching so much of this.
Who are the people?
But I think I was watching a lot of like console repair rather than just creating things.
So Northridge Fix, Coder, there's probably the two larger ones, I would say. There's a couple of others.
I don't know any of their names. Let me like search these people you've just mentioned up. Northridge Fix.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's probably the most educational.
I've seen this person's videos before.
Yeah. I mean, other than what the guy from New York, what's his name? But yeah,
Louis Rossman.
Louis Rossman, yeah, Rossman Repair, yeah.
I've also seen like the ASMR console repair people, and just like the,
most of them are doing
one.
Cleaning, right?
It depends on like what they get, because they'll just like get mystery stuff, and whatever's wrong with it, they'll like either fix it or clean it or whatever.
Yeah.
Or replace a screen.
Yeah. So, I think it's better to have like a larger plan, an overall plan of how this content fits together. Unless you're only gonna stream micro soldering, then that's a plan. That is a plan. So.
I go into most like streams in general with like a content plan of like, okay, so this is for like this video. At least now I do. I didn't always. So I'm already thinking of it as a YouTuber, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of room for micro soldering on Twitch for sure. That's actually a really good space to try to move into. So
I'd like to announce my new micro soldering channel. I'll be going live next week. I've never done it before. I'm gonna burn
Solderless,
myself.
solder
a lot.
scares.
Cool. Thank you for.
Twinkie solders doesn't have the same ring to it.
It's taken like months for this burn on my arm to go away, which was from a hot air gun. I accidentally
What about
like
Twinkie
hit my
burns?
Twinkie
should say-
burns.
I'm sorry, Twinkle.
Twinkle
no.
burns.
Oh.
Twinkle burns.
My name again.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for this constructive discussion.
It's all good. We just want to get people thinking about stuff and making decisions that are well thought out and helpful. And, this is a tough space to navigate. It can be very difficult, and it can be very easy to make decisions for any reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just, it's good to have people around you that will challenge you on what you're thinking about or give you different perspectives so that you can make the best decision possible. Because that's really what the end goal here is. Not
Absolutely.
there's no winner unless we're successful. Nobody wins just by making decisions. It's you have to have good decisions, right? So and it's hard to make good decisions in an industry full of Twitch is just so volatile. There's so many voices right now. People are mad, whatever. There's always some reason, especially if you look at Twitter, everyone hates Twitch.
Absolutely.
That's probably the worst place to try and figure out what's going on, to be honest. I wouldn't look at Twitch or live stream fails. These are very toxic ways of trying to digest what's happening in the industry. It's better to look at streams, watch streams, see what streams are like and what people like about them. Even the mid-tier or like growing smaller streamers can give you a lot of perspective on what Twitch is really like, and not so much what the noise of everyone who's upset with Twitch is like, So anyway, that was a good conversation. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks to everybody in chat. And we will be back for the podcast on Wednesday night. Twinkie, again, thank you. And everybody's cool. Nobody was. This is no arguments. Everybody's fine.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm sorry for talking over you before.
No, it's fine.
Sorry. I get really annoyed when people do that. But sorry, I had to say something. Because it happened a lot, and I understand that some people, just the way they talk, and when people talk in real life, like face to face, that's how everyone talks, right? Everyone talks over each other. That's the normal thing. But on the problem with Discord is when you do that, like the other people get garbled, and it's hard to understand from a streaming.
It's
perspective.
also
so it's really
you don't see the person,
right, and that doesn't help either. But anyway, I did want to say apologies. I did come at you a little hard. It actually was my intention. That's why I jumped in here. It's not to get mad at you, be mean and say mean things to you, but I saw the opportunity to have you clarify some of the things you were saying and be a little more precise with your actual reasons for some of the things you were saying, because you were using a lot of broad terminology, broad strokes, and I prefer language to be as precise as possible, and I want to make sure everyone can understand your position. And so I wasn't trying to I wasn't trying to fight you. I was trying to get that out of you, basically, almost to bolster your position, right? Yeah.
Also, now's the time to fight. So go ahead, you guys. Fight now.
I don't fight
Battle
anyone.
Royale.
I'm a pacifist. I play
Battle
Stardew
Royale.
Valley. I'm not a fighter person.
Yo, it's so funny. I picked up Stardew Valley and I was like, oh man, I just want to farm and chill. And I found myself in the mine most of the time, honestly.
The mine
I
is
don't know
fun.
why. Right, but if that's the only combat in the game, I was just like, I'm playing this chill game. Why am I killing stuff?
Do you fish? Have you tried fishing at all?
Dude,
Oh, boy.
fishing is the worst.
I can't end this stream, guys. It's not.
I'm sorry,
No one's
it was
gonna let me
fine.
end this stream. Oh man.
Well, thank you for being
Yeah.
here, Feckless, and actually challenging my perspectives as well. As long as your intention was good, I'm thankful for it.
I'm thankful for both you guys, and I want Twinkie, I'd hate to see you leave Twitch because like I said, I think you would be a good voice of reason, fighting inside the castle instead of out. So I encourage you to just think about it as much as possible.
Yeah, I will say I came into this conversation fully expecting to encourage you not to stream on Twitch, but now I have the opposite opinion, and I actually agree with Sunny. I think you should stick with it, and I think it would actually be kind of cool to have somebody being like, hey, yeah, I'm purposefully not an affiliate, and this is why, right?
Yeah, whatever you
'Cause
decide.
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
And actually, if you do that, you'll probably have an easier time pointing people to Patreon or off-platform services. Like you'll probably find more success if you don't have a sub button. You probably won't make more money, but you will. But you will get more interaction on those other platforms. I think, especially Patreon. Sorry if you can hear my son screaming in the background, but I do have to go.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Hey, it's dynamic mic, folks. That's why you need to buy a dynamic microphone.
Yeah, exactly. If it was a Yeti, we'd have heard him the whole time. Yeah. All right.
You'd hear my neighbor's dog, too.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Anyway, so thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks again to Feckless Twinkie. If you're an IQ member, you can always join Voice and hang out with us while we do these conversations. And, sometimes they're spicy. Sometimes they're just informational. If you guys have any suggestions,
follow my stream, twitch.tv/Kumatori. Sorry.
If you guys have any suggestions for content that you'd like IQ to cover, either on the podcast or just in these discussions or on the YouTube channel, there is a suggestions channel in the IQ Discord. Please leave some suggestions. Podcast will be back on Wednesday, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye.
Bye.
You gotta let the end screen run long enough so you could put up the suggested videos on YouTube.
Oh, because you don't want to edit anything, right?
Right.
You gotta
Just gonna upload it straight to YouTube and then
15
edit out the
seconds.
intro.
15
Isn't
seconds,
it like
fade out the
26?
audio.
25, 26.
I do 15 seconds for my outros. I don't feel like pumping the time number.
I think the auto YouTube.